And now, with the official part of tonight's proceedings over, we've had Frank Nelligan Club, the Desmond League PRO has given us the teams for tonight, and we now have the customary shaking of hands before the big game. I'll now repeat the teams in case you didn't get them on Frank's broadcast. And starting with Ballingarry, we have Pat Kinrick in goals, number 1. Number 2 is Colm Kiley. Number 3, Mike Condren. Number 4, Owen Barrett. Number 5, James Higgins, who comes in to replace Darren Clifford. Number 6, Niall Condren. Number 7, Joe Scanlon. Number 8, Noel McNamara. Number 9, Owen Kennedy. Number 10, Donald O'Grady. And number 11, his brother, Dara O'Grady. The Knockaderry team tonight is number 1, Ollie Dowling. Number 2, Donie O'Sullivan. Number 3, Phelan Milan. Number 4, Gerard Kennedy. Number 5, Liam Cullum. Number 6, Brian Downs. Number 7, Thomas Butler. Number 8, Mike O'Connor. Number 9, Sean Cullum, captain. Number 10, Thomas Geary. And number 11, Donna O'Sullivan. So they're the 2 lineups for tonight's big game. And as we wait for proceedings to get underway here tonight, I'll let you know how the 2 teams reached tonight's final. Ballingarry in the first round, they played Glen. They had a bye in the second round and played Bresca in the third round, winning 3-2. The quarter-final was contested with Killaney, and again a 3-2 scoreline prevailed. And the semi-final win over Palace was also a 3-2 scoreline. So in 3 previous rounds of this year's competition, Ballingarry have won by the odd goal in 5. Knockaderry, on the other hand, had quite a long and difficult path to tonight's final. They began with Glanton, which they won quite easily at 4-1, and again in the second round they had a bye. In the third round they played Fines, and that game went to a replay. The first game was a 0-0, where in the second game they won 2-1. In the quarter-final they met Clounreask. Again the first game was drawn, this time 1-1, and the replay was won by the odd goal in 5, 3-2. The semi-final against Broadford again went to a replay and went down to penalties in the second game. The opening game in that semi-final was a 2-2 draw, whereas in the replay the game went to penalties and it was won 3-1 on penalties, with an outstanding performance by their goalkeeper Ollie Dowling on the night, making 3 penalty saves. So that's the route that the 2 teams have taken to get to tonight's final. As we look out on the pitch now, we see Ballingarry are presently having their team picture taken, and the photographers are out there getting the team picture. And the Knockaderry team are in the customary huddle now, getting motivated before tonight's big game. There is no doubt that both teams are keyed up for tonight's game, as one can appreciate in it being such a big final. For Ballingarry, it being their first Desmond Cup final, and I think for Knockaderry it's a big occasion for them, having lost out in the previous 2 finals, and with pretty much the same team here again tonight. I think there was a tremendous determination there to put it to rights tonight. Nonetheless, I'm expecting a good open game. They're near neighbours, both teams know each other quite well, and it is expected that the game should be a scoring game. When you look back over the previous rounds, both teams have been involved in quite high scoring games right through, particularly Ballingarry. In fact, Ballingarry haven't gone a game without conceding a goal in quite a while, and have also scored in most of their games. So Ballingarry have been on quite a good run coming into this. In fact, Ballingarry will be playing for the league title on Friday next against Killaney. It's the final league game of the season, and it has come down to the situation where the winners of the Killaney-Ballingarry game will be crowned Division 1 league champions. So it is a tremendous period for the Ballingarry club, having contested the League Cup final just last week and having reached this final tonight, and plus having the final league game being so important next week. It was important for the Ballingarry supporters to note that after the disappointment of last Friday night week, they went on to play their second last, their penultimate league game against Kildime away on the Sunday. Having suffered some injuries on Friday night, the depleted team went on to win that game 3-2. So definitely Ballingarry will be in good heart coming in, as will Knockaderry. As we look out as the teams take up their positions for the beginning of tonight's game, both teams are looking well, they're looking fit, and certainly listening to the calls between the players, a lot of encouragement, encouraging each other to get involved in this game from the very beginning. Knockaderry have tip-off in the first half here, so Knockaderry will begin tonight's proceedings, and referee Donie O'Gorman is checking with his linesmen to make sure everything is in order for the beginning of the 2002 Desmond League Cup Final. It should be underway now at any moment. A fine crowd in the stand across, and Knockaderry begin tonight's game, and the ball is played back to their centre half, Liam Cullum. Liam Cullum knocks it out wide to their number 2, Donie O'Sullivan. The ball bobbles around midfield. Condon gets the ball forward and it's knocked back again, back to Higgins. Higgins unfortunately are not to control the ball and it goes outside to Kiley. Kiley under pressure there from Shawnee Cullum, the Knockaderry captain. The ball is knocked back up into the Knockaderry half. The ball has gone dead and we have our first throw of tonight's game. A long throw going deep down into the Ballingarry half with Cullum on the ball. Cullum attempted to get past Condon, but there was no way past Niall Condon on that occasion. A Knockaderry throw midway through the Ballingarry half. A fine crowd in the grandstand over there, as you can see from this shot, and certainly a very well attended Desmond League Cup final here tonight. That ball hasn't come to anything for Knockaderry. It's gone over the dead ball line, and Patrick Kinrick for Ballingarry will get his first touch of the ball in tonight's game and take the kick-off and restart proceedings. Kinrick now about to take the kick out, and again very dependable on his kick outs. Patrick Kinrick, he gets it all the way into the Knockaderry half and it's knocked back by Thomas Butler. Ballingarry have possession now to attempt to come across the Ballingarry square, but it's cleared and headed on again. A referee was being headed on by Cullum, and referee Donie saw an infringement there, an arm over the shoulder, and we have a free to Ballingarry, which is quickly taken and knocked out to Cullum Kiley. Kiley now to O'Grady, and O'Grady knocks it back for Owen Barrett, and the ball is knocked forward hoping to get Cullum Kiley away, but it was cut out by Donie O'Sullivan on that occasion. Kiley now with the ball takes a quick throw to the number 8, Noel McNamara. Noel, who joined the Ballingarry club this year, having previously played with Rackeel, has had a very, very successful season, has made a big contribution to Ballingarry. Scanlon unfortunate there not to get under the ball, and it is cleared by Knockaderry. It comes for a throw here for Ballingarry, about 30-35 yards from the end line. George Kindy was the man who cleared the ball on that occasion. The ball is thrown to Joe Scanlon. Joe Scanlon has possession now. He attempts to make progress up the line, but the ball is knocked out for another throw. Again, Michael Condon will be the taker of this throw. Michael has the ball now and he looks up, and a run again from McNamara. McNamara very busy in the early opening stages of this game. McNamara turns inside, tries to find O'Grady. It goes through for Kennedy. Kennedy comes back out again. He's looking for his options. Donald O'Grady has provided an option, and he's gone outside now for Niall Condon, who went wide to give O'Grady an option. Niall Condon now in possession. He is being tackled ferociously there by Knockaderry, and the ball is brought clear. Knockaderry have done very well to clear that ball. A great ball forward now. James Higgins in a position to clear, and he does. Under pressure there from Geary. A late challenge there on that occasion. The referee is not happy with that challenge at all. A mistimed tackle there from Mike O'Connor on the Knockaderry side. Certainly there was no intent there, but Mike was just attempting to get the ball. But tonight's surface is very damp and slippery. Both teams will do well to note that it would be very easy to slip, and any mistimed challenge will not look good at all tonight because of the conditions. The ball is skimming along the surface, and we may see some mistimed challenges tonight because of that very reason. Barrett now to take the kick on the halfway line. He drops it right inside. No Ballingarry player whatsoever in that area of the field. Ballingarry not reading that kick at all. Niall Condon now finds his brother Mike out here on the right hand side. Mike turns back again and looks inside for brother Niall. Niall now has the ball, knocks it outside for Barrett, the free taker. Barrett knocks it forward quickly. O'Grady hoping for a breaking ball. Appeals there from Ballingarry that there was a handball in the Knockaderry area, but referee Donnie Gorman waves them aside. An attempt there by Joe Scanlon about 10 yards outside the box, and certainly that was not going to trouble Ollie Dowling on this occasion. Ollie Dowling retrieves the ball now for Knockaderry, and it is a kick out for Knockaderry. Certainly that free kick from Ballingarry's point of view did not find anyone inside in the Knockaderry area on that occasion, but yet encouraging signs from Ballingarry, whereas Knockaderry have yet to create their first opening. Cullum plays it back again now to Donie O'Sullivan, and it's cleared now by Gerald Kennedy. Kennedy is outside and Cullum Kiley is under, but Cullum Kiley misjudges it, and Sean Cullum, the Knockaderry captain, breaks forward, and James Higgins, who is the most experienced player involved in the Ballingarry panel. He's been involved with the club since its foundation. A very, very experienced sweeper, and he read that situation and cut out the danger as Cullum attacked. Thomas Butler now on the ball, under pressure. Butler, but I think the referee saw an infringement just before that when the ball was released, and Knockaderry now have a free about 10 yards outside the area on the right hand corner. Knockaderry now line up to take this free kick. This is their first opportunity to attack the Ballingarry goal. Kinrick is very concerned in the goal that his wall be properly positioned. Certainly with tonight's breeze, there is a breeze playing across the field. Ballingarry would do well to take great care with this here now, and we have the free from Knockaderry. A chip inside. Certainly number 6, Brian Downs for Knockaderry, was very, very close to getting on the end of that. That was almost a great opportunity for Knockaderry. The ball has been knocked out for a corner, and Knockaderry continue to pressure the Ballingarry goal. A good free kick there by Knockaderry, and Downs was unfortunate not to get his head on the end of it. Downs now, the man who just missed that header, is come out to take the corner kick for Knockaderry, so Brian Downs to take this corner kick. Good corner kick, cleared by Condon. Chased here now by Donald O'Grady. Donald O'Grady has an opportunity to break as he approaches the halfway line. As he approaches the halfway line, being chased by Donie O'Sullivan. Definitely O'Grady has the legs here. Has he got the support? Who is supporting him? Kindy is inside there. Number 4, Barrett, captain, has gone forward. And Michael Condon has made a run on the outside, but O'Grady hesitates. He waits. He's losing ground. It's coming out. Again, Knockaderry have done very well there. Number 5, Cullum, the centre half, came out there, broke up that period of play for Ballingarry, and Ballingarry have regained position with Darragh O'Grady over on the left-hand side. Michael Connor clears the ball for Knockaderry, headed back again by Kiley. He finds Higgins just inside the Knockaderry half. Again, another player slides in. Very slippery conditions. Players will have to be careful here tonight. The ball is knocked forward for Knockaderry. It goes over Kiley's head, and Geary races in. He puts pressure on Barrett. Barrett did well to clear that, because Thomas Geary, who I believe is a top scorer for Knockaderry, was prowling there very quick. Any mistake by Barrett there could have been fatal for Ballingarry. But Knockaderry have possession now, about 10 yards from the corner flag. Referee's assistant Tony Fitzmaurice signifies that the ball should be taken from there, and Knockaderry have a throw deep in the Ballingarry half. Downs again the taker. Thomas Butler goes for him. Niall Condon is there watching that run. 2 players watching. Shawnee Cullum, a danger man for Knockaderry, and it drops here now for their number 11, Donald O'Sullivan, but James Higgins was clear, saw the danger and cut it out. The ball comes back again for Sullivan. He cuts outside around Kennedy. The ball is chipped forward long. Michael Condon decides to head it outside here for Joe Scanlon, midfielder Joe Scanlon. Scanlon has possession now, under pressure from Sullivan. And Michael Condon comes back in to retrieve the situation. Referee Donny O'Gorman feels that he's a Knockaderry ball. Certainly it's loose play there by Ballingarry. Michael Condon playing it out to Scanlon. Scanlon under pressure from Sullivan, but Michael Condon retrieved the situation by putting the ball out for a throw. Phelan Milan took that throw, and again Knockaderry, the ball has gone over the sideline, and it is now a Ballingarry throw with fullback Michael Condon to take this throw. Certainly nothing between the sides in these opening exchanges, with both sides showing that they can get into the opposing penalty area and pose some problems. Gerald Kindy now approaches the ball and clears it. Again, Ballingarry have possession just inside their own half, No referee's assistant. Liam O'Connor signifies it's a Knockaderry ball, and Knockaderry now have possession just inside the Ballingarry half. Donald O'Sullivan leaves it for... Donald O'Sullivan is leaving the ball, leaving the throw for their number 3, Phelan Milan. Phelan Milan with the throw now for Knockaderry. And Sullivan has it back again, and he returns it for Milan. Milan chips it forward. Higgins is under it. Higgins decides to head it to safety here on the right, on his right hand side. Another throw for Knockaderry. A sustained period of possession here by Knockaderry as they inched their way towards the Ballingarry goal. But again, Higgins' positioning in that situation was excellent, and he cut out the danger. Cullum got possession there, knocked it inside, but was cut out by Condon. It comes back to their number 6, Brian Downs. Brian Downs knocks it across. Butler continues on his way outside for Sullivan. Sullivan now is down the right hand side for Knockaderry. He has possession. He tees it up. He decides to turn back inside and plays it back again for Butler. Butler now in possession, under pressure from Niall Condon. The ball breaks. Owen Barrett gets the breaking ball, and a good ball from Barrett. Niall Condon had continued his run up the left hand side, and he knocks it inside. Is there anyone there for Ballingarry? Unfortunately, nobody had run up the right hand channel for Ballingarry on that occasion, and Condon's crossfield ball came to naught. Ollie Dowling now in possession of the ball in Knockaderry penalty area, and he proceeds to clear the ball. A good clearance from Dowling, and it finds the head of Shawnee Cullum. He knocks it inside, but Niall Condon is equal to it. Niall Condon now decides to cut it outside. A short ball there from Niall Condon, and the ball again, Cullum, who is all over the place in these opening moments, has possession. He knocks it inside. The ball ricochets. Niall Condon under. Niall attempts a clearance, but it only goes in the air. Higgins gets a hit to it. He comes outside now for McNamara. Can McNamara bring it clear? He knocks it inside, but no. Liam Cullen, brother of forward Shawnee, cuts the ball, knocks it forward. It's gone outside now for Colin Kiley, the Ballingarry left back, and he takes a deflection. It's gone outside Michael Connor there, and it's gone out for a Ballingarry throw. Certainly the Ballingarry defenders cannot hesitate for a moment in possession, because Geary and Shawnee Cullum are on top of them like lightning. Ballingarry with possession now as they attack forward. Kennedy with the ball, he knocks it inside. Donald O'Grady has made the run, but well cut out there by the number 3 Phelan Milan. He gets another touch on it. It comes back for Darrow O'Grady. Darrow with possession now. He turns, he looks for a way through. He's still in possession. He looks to pass the ball back to Kennedy, but doesn't get there, and Milan clears. It comes forward again now. Knockaderry in possession around the halfway line. Chip forward, and we have Geary on a run. Can Kinrick, the Ballingarry net stopper, get there? Yes, Kinrick gets there. A good clearance. Important that he read that. The speed and pace of Geary was so evident on that occasion, and it was very important that the Ballingarry shot stopper, Pat Kinrick, read that situation and keeps an eye on those situations throughout the game because of the speed of the Ballingarry forwards. Donald Sullivan now with the ball for Knockaderry to take this throw. He throws it inside. The ball now in possession with Butler. Butler attempts to play it inside, but Owen Kindy cuts it out. Kindy races forward. He knocks the ball outside for Niall Conlon. Can Niall reach this? No. The ball is just that little bit strong, carried on the wind, and it's gone out for a throw to Knockaderry. But Knockaderry now in possession. Midway inside their own half. Milan will take the throw. It comes to Liam Cullum, number 5. He has possession. He attempts to get past Niall Condon. Niall Condon, a tough battler, but Liam Cullum holds possession. He does well, and he plays inside a 1-2 with Donald Sullivan, but Owen Barrett, captain of Ballingarry, comes out and cuts out the danger, and a throw now to Ballingarry. Certainly Liam Cullum at the back and Sean Cullum up front for Knockaderry are having a great start to tonight's game. Owen Barrett's clearance ricochets. Really, it came off the side of his foot. He expected to gain more ground that, and Knockaderry have a throw midway inside the Ballingarry half. Owen Kindy knocks the ball outside to Brian Downs. Brian Downs takes a quick throw. He finds Milan. Milan in possession now. He plays it low. He found Sullivan. Sullivan outside now to Downs. It's knocked outside. Owen Kindy with possession now. Owen Kindy looks for Joe Scanlon. He found him. Joe Scanlon plays outside. His pass is cut out. Cut out again by that man. Knock forward, and Shawnee Cullum under. Kinrick again to the rescue for Ballingarry. Well read by Kinrick. A great clearance into the Knockaderry half, and Darrow Grady challenges for the ball with Michael Connor over on that left hand side. Ball knocked forward again. Cullum under. He knocks it inside for the number 11 Donald Sullivan. Can Donald Sullivan do something in the situation as he goes goalward? He's just inside the Ballingarry penalty area, and he chips it back across, and he's found Geary. Geary knocks it out again, and it's come now to Brian Downs. Can Brian Downs do something? Brian Downs' attempted shot is knocked down by James Higgins. Owen Kindy has possession, and he plays it to McNamara. McNamara with a quick ball forward, hoping to put Donie O'Grady away. Donie O'Grady and Gerard Kennedy in a race for that ball, and Gerard Kennedy won that race, knocking the ball to safety for Knockaderry, and a throw to Ballingarry. A quick breakaway attack on that occasion by Ballingarry. Knockaderry after a sustained period of pressure, but Ballingarry broke free. Kennedy to Scanlon, and Scanlon put O'Grady away, but Gerard Kennedy was equal to the danger on that occasion. Throw now by Kiley, and he throws it inside, finding Donald O'Grady. Another throw to Ballingarry, and Ballingarry maintain possession up on the left hand side. Darrow O'Grady now gets the ball, but he'll probably leave it to fullback Kiley. Kiley, the throw specialist on the left hand side for Ballingarry, takes a quick throw to the feet of O'Grady. O'Grady returns it to Kiley. Kiley now with possession, plays inside, finding Darrow O'Grady, a teammate of his in the youth side, is a very successful Ballingarry youth side of this year. The ball bobbles around the Knockaderry area, but it's brought clear, and on that occasion McNamara got in a challenge, and we have a shot taken there by Noel McNamara, but Ali Dowling was full square behind it, and it didn't really pose any danger to the Knockaderry goal on that occasion. We have an injury. I think it is Liam Cullum for Knockaderry. Is it Liam Cullum for Knockaderry that appears to have taken an injury on that occasion? Yes, indeed, it is Liam Cullum, and certainly Ollie Dowling was concerned about that injury because he immediately kicked the ball out of play. He wanted attention for his centre half. Liam Cullum, one of the most influential players both on and off the field for Knockaderry, and a key player for them. And he certainly, I noticed a little earlier in an exchange over here just in front of the camera that he seemed to limp away from that exchange, and maybe it's just catching up with him now, that injury. They appear to be treating his knee, and we'd hope, I'm sure both sets of supporters would hope, that Liam will be okay to continue on in tonight's Desmond Cup Final. Certainly there are looks of concern there among the Knockaderry mentors, and Liam Cullum is being helped now to his feet, and yes, perhaps Liam will be able to continue. He may be able to run off this injury, but nonetheless there is concern among the Knockaderry faithful. As we look around here tonight, we certainly have a fine attendance to stand across because of the evening. I think people are taking cover for fear of the rain that we've had all day, and certainly along the near side as well we see quite a good attendance. I see over to my left hand side Club President Mas Doody. He's just leaning there with his umbrella. Mas Doody has been a great servant to Ballingarry Soccer Club, and he's our president, and we're delighted that Mas can be with us here tonight. Now, luckily, Liam Cullum is in a position to continue on, and the game is restarting. Ballingarry have thrown the ball out over the in line, and we have a restart, and Liam Cullum is able to take part. So the game getting back underway now. We were after an exciting period of play just before we had that break. With Knockaderry, a lot of possession, put on quite a lot of pressure on Ballingarry, still didn't get a shot in on Kinrick, and on the last occasion Ballingarry made a breakaway attack and got a shot in on Dowling, but still nothing to trouble the Knockaderry goalkeeper at this stage. The ball is attempted cut out there by Scanlon. Michael Conlon does get the touch. Owen Barrett in a race here now with O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan got to the ball first, and it comes off Barrett for a throw to Knockaderry. Certainly it is noteworthy that this Knockaderry team are very quick indeed. Certainly when you come up the field they are very quick to the ball. Well cut out there by Owen Kindy. The ball still falls for Sullivan. It comes back again now for the number 7 Thomas Butler. Michael Conlon plays it back to his captain Owen Barrett. Donie O'Gorman sees an infringement. Perhaps it was an offside. I wasn't looking at linesman Tony Fitzmaurice on that occasion. Perhaps it was an offside, and we have a free kick now for Ballingarry that will be taken by Pat Kinrick. Pat Kinrick, who's had a great season for Ballingarry this year. He's been part of the double winning team with the youths and has had a great season for the juniors as well, scoring a couple of goals for the juniors this year, which is unusual for a goalkeeper, but he's a great penalty taker. Knockaderry on the attack again now. Cullum, centre half, finds himself all the way up on the forward line, and himself and his brother Shawnee now are actually side by side. I wonder, has there been a switch in the Knockaderry side while we were talking there? It does appear that there is. Sean Cullum, while he's running off that injury perhaps, or Liam Cullum has decided to move up to the forwards for a while. I'm just looking to see what the changes. It would appear as if forward Thomas Geary has gone back to play in the centre half position, whether temporarily or permanently, time will only tell. Geary now on the ball. Geary, a prolific goal scorer for Knockaderry, now finds himself as goal stopper, playing centre half for Knockaderry in this Desmond Cup 2002 final. Now Ballingarry in possession around the halfway line. Played back now for, that was very casual by Owen Barrett, but he gets possession. He knocks outside here from Michael Condon. Michael Condon on the halfway line with possession for Ballingarry. He plays it forward looking for McNamara. McNamara touches it back for Niall Condon. Niall Condon's through ball was cut out by Shawnee Cullum. Certainly this man has been all over the place in these early stages. McNamara again with the ball, 3 around him. Knockaderry have been very, very eager and first to the ball on many occasions. Ballingarry again with position. Niall Condon finds his brother Mike out here on the right hand side. Mike moves inside, decides to go on a run. He attacks. He plays inside for Kennedy. Kennedy takes possession. Unfortunately Knockaderry were there to cut out the danger again from Kennedy's point of view. Barrett has the ball now. He plays it inside. He played it inside for McNamara, but was much too far in front of him. There should be no danger here as Higgins signals to goalkeeper Kenrick to come out and take the ball. Captain Barrett has it, and he finds Higgins, who's taken up position midway through his own half. Higgins moves across the field now, and he decides to play it outside for left full-back Cullum Kiley. Yes, looking around us, perhaps in actual fact Geary may be actually playing in the right full position. We'll sort that positional situation out later on. Knockaderry again cut it out. They have been very successful in cutting out the Ballingarry attacks. Condon's attempted tackle doesn't work now, and Liam Cullum, the injured party, now has possession on the edge of the Ballingarry area. James Higgins is there to challenge him. We have a bit of a tussle between the two players there, and I think it is fair to say that Donie O'Gorman was correct on that occasion to give a free out. Liam Cullum finding himself in the opposition penalty area on that occasion and attempting to get around the Ballingarry sweeper, James Higgins. James Higgins is not an easy man to get around at the best of times, and he was always favoured to keep Cullum to the edge of the penalty area there. Kinrick now with the free kick for Ballingarry. A great kick from Kinrick. He'd get it all the way into the Ballingarry penalty area, you could say, and here comes Scanlon. Now Scanlon runs onto that knocked on ball, knocked on by Knockaderry defender. His chip back in. Unfortunately, Joe was not able to get proper control of that cross. He was attempting to find teammate Noel McNamara, who had made a great run from midfield, but nonetheless it was encouraging from the Ballingarry point of view that they have broke through on that occasion and did to Knockaderry what they've been doing earlier in the game as a breakaway attack. And certainly the long free kick, the kick out from Kinrick, was key to that attack. It was a fantastic kick out. It dropped, I suppose, about 9 or 10 yards outside the penalty area, which is a fabulous addition to a team, to have a goalkeeper that can kick the ball that sort of distance. The ball is now cleared out by Knockaderry and headed on by Cullum, and it falls from Michael Condon, the fullback. Condon's attempted pass to Scanlon fails, and we have Donald Sullivan in possession. Michael Condon gets back, but Sullivan still has it. Liam Cullum has possession. He attempts to take on Barrett. He finds Sullivan again. This is encouraging for Knockaderry. Knockaderry cut it across. It's going to fall for... the ball across from Sullivan was just spot on for the Knockaderry number 6, Brian Downs. He just couldn't get a hold of it, and he screwed his shot to the right of the Ballingarry goal and didn't get it on target. Certainly a fine piece of play, and it was Liam Cullum who was instrumental in that, with 2 1-2s with his wing forward Donald Sullivan. I see Cullum has now gone to have some consultation with the team mentors over on the far side, the management of the Knockaderry team. I'm sure they're considering the position regarding his injury, but certainly he was able to run on that last occasion, and he very nearly helped to create the best opening of the game so far. And I'm sure when Brian Downs looked back on it, he'd have hoped to have dealt better with the opportunity that was presented him on that occasion. Kinrick now with the clearance. It was low on this occasion. He goes for Captain Barrett. Barrett immediately knocks it outside for Kiley. Kiley now coming forward with the ball. He knocks it inside looking for McNamara. McNamara is dispossessed, and again Cullum attempts to block the clearance there from Barrett, but it's adjudged to have fouled, and it's a free to Ballingarry. Ballingarry now have a free kick just inside their own half. Quite a youthful Ballingarry teams we have here tonight, because when you consider that goalkeeper Kinrick, wing forward Darragh O'Grady, and midfielder Joe Scanlon were members of the youth team this year that was so successful and triumphantly did the double, league and cup double. We have Cullum again now attempting to get past Condon. Condon on this occasion has the measure. He knocks outside trying to find Scanlon. Scanlon has possession. Now Condon takes over. Mike Condon, the ball is knocked outside by Sullivan for a throw, and Condon has possession. Condon takes the throw, quickly finding McNamara. McNamara plays it back for Condon. Condon now chips forward looking for Scanlon. Will Scanlon be able to reach this? Not on this occasion, as Thomas Butler cuts out the danger for Knockaderry. He goes into the corner and finds Sullivan. Again, Knockaderry doing very well to cut out the danger there and bring the ball out, but Ballingarry have maintained possession, and the ball has gone for a throw. I think Michael Condon will again take this throw, so Ballingarry maintains some pressure on the Knockaderry rear guard at the moment, and again the ball is knocked out for another throw, and again I think Michael Condon will be the taker. Joe Scanlon, as I said. So there are 3 youth players in this Ballingarry team, which is it just shows the youthful the youthfulness of the Ballingarry team, when in fact the bulk of the players are in their mid-20s or younger. Tussling inside now in the corner, we have Noel McNamara and Donald Sullivan, and at this occasion, when the ball went out over the sideline, it was judged to be a Knockaderry throw, so some relief now for Knockaderry, and Milan has possession of the ball, about to take a throw for Knockaderry. Linesman this side, Liam O'Connor, signifying that was a Knockaderry throw. The ball comes back here now for Owen Barrett, the captain for Ballingarry. Barrett attempted pass inside to Scanlon, is cut out. Another throw. We've had quite a number of throws. In fact, the game, when you consider it, has been quite scrappy, and from that point of view, quite a few stoppages. We've had the injury to Cullum. We've had quite a lot of free kicks and throws. Certainly there's been no bad challenges in the game, and I wouldn't like to suggest that the game has not been played in a very sporting manner, and certainly is, but the slippery conditions, and there is quite a significant cross-field breeze, and I think that certainly is upsetting the general trend of the play, and we're having a sort of a scrappy first half. The ball is cleared decisively there by Kennedy. The ball hops here in front of us. Certainly Gerard Kennedy was taking no prisoners on that occasion, ensuring that the danger was cleared. Ballingarry now have been, for the last 2-3 minutes, had possession in the Knockaderry half, but haven't been able to get away from this right-hand touchline. Thrown inside now for Kennedy, a change in tactics by Ballingarry, back to Condon. Condon chips forward, looking for McNamara. McNamara attempted cross, is cut out and dealt very efficiently by Brian Downs, and the ball has gone dead. I'm unsure if we have throw or a corner. I'm watching here. It is a corner. Owen Kennedy, the corner kick taker for Ballingarry, has gone out to the corner to take this. This is Ballingarry's first corner kick of the game. It'll be interesting to see what they can do with this. This is their first set piece really in front of the Knockaderry goal, and can Ballingarry make this tell? Kennedy about to take the kick now. Good cross, it's dropping just inside, outside the 6-yard box. It's headed on by Cullum and cleared by, I think it may have been O'Connor, I'm unsure, but referee Donie O'Gorman has adjudged that it is another corner. In fact, the ball had crossed the dead ball line. Cullum there got a significant header to the ball to clear the danger for Knockaderry, and again Kennedy goes across to take this corner, and Ballingarry have a second chance to put the Knockaderry net stopper Ollie Dowling under pressure. Kennedy gets ready to take it, and he takes it. Again, a good in-swinging corner. On this occasion, referee Donie O'Gorman has judged there was shoving in the box. I think it may be against Niall Condren on that occasion. Certainly a couple of players found themselves on the floor, so it has been adjudged a free out, and the danger is averted for Knockaderry on this occasion. While both crosses by Owen Kennedy did go into the danger area, on neither occasion really did Ballingarry get on the end of them. So Knockaderry have an opportunity to clear their lines again and start another attack from their point of view. Knockaderry clear the ball up, and it comes, just drops inside their own half. Noel McNamara challenges the ball. He's got possession. Certainly he's been busy for Ballingarry tonight. He plays it for Niall Condren. Niall Condren lucky to maintain position there. A good ball forward for Joe Scanlon. Will the wind beat him? Unfortunately, just is the direction. The wind is blowing right at the moment, and the ball is slipping along the surface, and it's very difficult to measure the passes correctly. On that occasion, Niall was very unfortunate not to find Scanlon. Scanlon, a very quick player, just couldn't get there. Again, we have a throw for Ballingarry with Kennedy involved on that occasion. Michael Condon will take the throw. He throws it forward for Joe Scanlon. Joe Scanlon turns, tries to get around Milan. Milan is sticky. He's not allowing him past. Condon tries across, comes to McNamara. McNamara now has it. McNamara tries to create an opening. He plays it inside for Owen Kennedy. Owen Kennedy has the possession. Again, a youth player. In fact, there's 4 playing now that I recall it for in tonight's team for Ballingarry. Owen was also a star with the Ballingarry youth team this year. On that occasion, he was unable to create an opening for Ballingarry, and the ball has gone over the dead ball line, and it's a goal kick for Knockaderry. There are in fact now 4 of the current Ballingarry junior team played youths this year. Great sign for the future for Ballingarry, and Owen Kennedy in particular is a very talented player, has scored prolifically all season, and a few years ago was actually over with Nottingham Forest in England on a trial, and had a lot of interest from various clubs across the water in him. He was a great prospect at the time, but Owen has decided to concentrate on school and other sports, and he's here with us tonight, and we're certainly delighted that he can take part in tonight's Desmond Cup Final. Darragh O'Grady now attempting to break up the left-hand side. He's helped by brother Donald. McNamara is actually, just Kylie is there. McNamara is behind covering for Kylie. A good ball forward. Will James Higgins cut out the danger here? Yes, indeed. James Higgins, always reliable to read those situations, was there to clear the danger for Ballingarry on that occasion when Kylie found himself deep inside the Knockaderry half in that attack. The ball knocked down now, and Kylie got his head to it. Knockaderry now come inside. The crossfield ball, there isn't anyone there for that. Kenrick deals with that quite easily. Kenrick runs stage to his area and takes it for his kick. A good kick again, all the way inside. Kennedy and O'Grady chase in, but Gerald Kennedy for Knockaderry quite comfortably and efficiently clears the ball, looking for Sullivan here, but Donie was unfortunate not to reach the ball before it crossed the line, and we have a throw for Ballingarry. Michael Condon to take it. Owen Barrett now with the ball. He knocks it forward quickly. A different approach from Ballingarry. Comes out again, and it comes to Niall Condon. Niall again goes with the early ball. Perhaps this is a change in tactic by Ballingarry. They had been trying to go around the wings, but I think now maybe they're going to attempt a couple of early balls forward and see what comes of it. Now Owen Barrett comes across his partner in defence, James Higgins, there, and finds Colm Kiley out on the left-hand side. I see now that we have Knockaderry have reverted to their original starting lineup. Geary has moved back up to the forwards, and Liam Cullen feels fit enough to take his place in defence again. That was Geary on that occasion who chased across and put Colm Kiley under pressure. In fact, Donie O'Gorman, referee Donie O'Gorman, has decided there was an infringement there, and it is a free kick to Ballingarry. Captain Owen Barrett will take the free kick, and he plays a quick one to James Higgins. James Higgins moves into Knockaderry half of the ball and plays the ball up the line, looking for Owen Kennedy. Kennedy has it now. Kennedy attempts to turn inside. Kennedy still has possession. He's supported by Darragh O'Grady. Still possession, going over, has the position, attempts to find O'Grady. O'Grady chases back on the ball, and we're back with Higgins where we started. Higgins plays it back out to left for O'Grady. Darragh O'Grady chips the ball forward, hoping to get Kindy away. Kindy has possession now. He tries to go around full-back Milan. Certainly Milan is not an easy man to get around, and he knocks it out for a throw. And Ballingarry have a throw quite close to the corner flag, and it is in fact probably the most forward throw that Ballingarry have had on the left-hand side in tonight's game, and it'll be interesting to see if they can make something of this. Owen Barrett has decided to go forward to take this throw, and he certainly will be hoping to get some significant length on this throw as the Ballingarry players have moved into the penalty area. And he does. He gets it onto the head of Kennedy, and it's knocked outside for Condon. 2 attempts, and it comes to Scanlon. Scanlon, a ricochet away. Cullen was behind that. He blocked down Scanlon's shot. That was goal bound. Joe Scanlon falls in a great position there, and that was goal bound, but Liam Cullen, dependable as ever, was there to block out the danger. McNamara cuts the ball out, but it falls inside for Thomas Butler. Butler attempts to find Sullivan. Just behind Sullivan, and goes for a throw. Certainly that was perhaps the best opening of the game so far. Joe Scanlon, about 12-13 yards from goal, in some space, got in his shot, but Liam Cullen was there to knock the danger away. The long throw from Barrett paid dividends on that occasion. The knock-on from Kennedy worked. Certainly it's something that Ballingarry should try again if they get the opportunity, as it was probably the more successful set piece so far in the game. We now have Brian Downs taking the throw and knocks it forward for Shawnee Cullen, the captain for Knockaderry. Cullen was unable to win possession there. It comes from McNamara. McNamara breaks free with the ball. Donald O'Grady has it. Can Donald find the Ballingarry yellow shirt now? Donald is dispossessed, illegally dispossessed on that occasion, according to referee Gerard Kindy, the player that infringed on that occasion, and we have a free kick just inside the Knockaderry half for Ballingarry, and Owen Barrett has it. He takes a quick throw to Condon. Condon on the right hand side. Owen Barrett calling for the ball. Condon decides to weigh up his options. He looks outside, and attempted pass to Joe Scanlon doesn't come off. Barrett intervenes, goes for a throw. Throw now for Knockaderry midway through the Knockaderry half. And certainly the weather is holding up excellently here for us tonight, because the day was absolutely terrible. Some awful showers, wind and rain, and we're very fortunate that we've got to the midway stage of this first half without any rain whatsoever. In fact, the sun is shining here in Clounreask. What a difference it makes to a game of football like this to have reasonable conditions to play in. Ballingarry tussled for the ball in the middle of the park, but adjudged to have fouled, and is now possession for Knockaderry on the halfway line, and it's left for Kennedy. Kennedy comes forward to take the free kick just on the halfway line. As we have approached the midway interval in tonight's game, the first half is beginning to wind down, and we now have Gerald Kennedy about 45. With just 7, Kenrick comes through. Kenrick is dispossessed, but he gets it at the second attempt. Kennedy's long kick there, it came in. Kenrick didn't catch it the first time, but he got it at the second and clears the danger. And again, the long clearance pays dividends, but it's clear by that man Kennedy. We have about 6 minutes left here in the first half as we approach the interval. Neither side, it's even Stephen really, neither side will go in disappointed that they haven't taken any particular chances. They've only been half chances, and both teams will be happy that they haven't been allowing their opponents clear access to goal. Ballingarry tried to break through here. There's a great run here by McNamara. McNamara gets there. Dowling didn't see him coming. He knocks it back for Owen Kindy, and Owen Kindy attempts a snapshot with the goalkeeper off the line and just could not keep the ball down. There was an opportunity. There didn't seem to be any danger. McNamara's had a very good game for Ballingarry midfield. He chased what seemed like a lost cause. I don't think Dowling expected him to come. I think Dowling felt that he had possession of that ball with a fine, really chased very hard McNamara. He got a toe to the ball, totally legal, did it right, got outside, played the ball back for Kennedy. Kennedy, who can be so dangerous in front of goal, tried a snapshot knowing that the goalkeeper was outside his goals, but unfortunately was unable to keep it down. Knockaderry now take the kick, and it drops inside the Ballingarry half. Owen Barrett challenges for the ball, but it falls for Knockaderry and it's knocked forward. Higgins knocks it clear. Niall Condon looks for a teammate and he finds Colm Kiley. Colm Kiley chips it forward. The ball goes through 2 Knockaderry players, but there's Gerald Kindy in possession again. He has the ball. In fact, that's Milan. Knockaderry chasing packs here now. Donald O'Grady was attempting to get on the end of it, but Knockaderry knocked him off, and it's a throw for Knockaderry. Throw inside by Milan, looking for centre half Colm. Colm breaks forward with the ball. He certainly has made a great recovery after his injury earlier in this half. Now we have Donald O'Grady in possession. He's taken out of it by certainly taken out of it on that occasion by Thomas Butler. I think Donie Gorman is not going to look favourably at that challenge. Certainly I think Donald was taken out of it. It's a free kick to Ballingarry about 10 yards inside the Knockaderry half. Again, the slippery conditions don't help, but I think Thomas might have been a bit over-enthusiastic on that occasion. We now have a free kick for Ballingarry, and James Higgins has elected to take up this free kick. In fact, after I saying that Liam Cullen made a recovery, I see a movement over on the far side, and we have a substitution. We have a substitution, and Liam Cullen is unfortunately has to be substituted in this Cup final night. I'm sure that he's devastated not to be able to continue, and we will find out who the substitute is. I think it might be Willie Enright, but we'll confirm that later on. Willie Enright on for Knockaderry, and Higgins now with the kick. Certainly that's disappointing for Cullen. The ball inside in the danger area now, and we have Owen Barrett in possession inside the Knockaderry penalty area, and he plays it outside looking for Kiley. Kiley tries to turn inside, but he's under pressure, and he finds Niall Condon. Niall Condon knocks it forward. Owen Kindy under it. He tries to get under it, fails. It's coming outside. Donald O'Grady should get possession here. He knocks it back for James Higgins. James Higgins inside for O'Grady, and back for Higgins again. That ball wasn't good enough for Higgins, and it goes outside for a throw to Knockaderry, and Ballingarry lose possession. So that attack didn't really come to anything. It was a case of almost on that occasion. Owen Kindy was unfortunate he didn't make good contact with the ball in the Knockaderry penalty area on that occasion. James Higgins very involved in the build-up play to that, on both taking the free kick and being there to play the ball back inside. We now have, yes indeed, it is Willie Enright that has come on the field to play for Knockaderry in this Desmond Cup final. He's taken out from Liam Cullen, who sustained an injury, and despite his very best efforts to run it off and to continue to help his club, and on this big occasion he was unable to do so, and the management have decided to make the substitution. Play continues to be down the right hand side here, and referee has signified it's a free kick to Knockaderry, so they have an opportunity to play the ball forward. Certainly looking back in the half, one or two half chances, nothing of a clear-cut nature, and certainly nothing that one could consider to be a miss. A bit scrappy, as we've spoken about it before. There's been a lot of stoppages in the line of free kicks and throws and dead balls, but I think that has something to do with the slippery nature of the pitch here tonight. The fact that the wind, there's quite a strong crossfield wind, and I think both sides are very equally matched. I would say that the speed of the Knockaderry forwards has been very evident throughout the game, and Ballingarry have had to be very, very watchful of breakaway attacks by them. And we now have Cullen crosses the ball inside, and we have a headed goal. Kinrick catches it, a header there now. That was from, I think it was from Thomas Butler, who headed that ball, and the Knockaderry forward, Shawnee Cullen, did very well to turn and cross the ball on that occasion. Kindy under the ball, now he heads it clear. Donald Sullivan under it, he knocks it on, but he's surrounded by three Ballingarry players. On Barrett clears it, but it comes to Downs, who knocks it forward for Geary. Geary now with Kiley. Kiley gets a touch of the ball, takes it outside, but Geary back in possession again. Thomas Geary for Knockaderry. Thomas Geary overruns the ball under pressure from Kiley, and it runs out over the dead ball line. As I was saying, the speed of the Knockaderry forwards is very, very evident here tonight. Cullum did well to get in that last cross, and I think it was Thomas Butler who got his head to it, and Kinrick had to make a fine save. On another night, that's the sort of header that might get you a vital goal, and what a goal it would have been for Knockaderry coming up to the half-time break. It would have been a fantastic boost to them, having lost their interventional centre half, that go into half-time or one goal up. But as we approach the half-time, the scoreline is still 0-0, with neither side having been able to break the deadlock at this stage. Barrett challenges forward, but is taken off his toe. It comes forward now, racing forward Knockaderry. Cullum is outside here on the left. It's again Butler. Butler chips it for Geary. Geary, the referee's assistant, says it's okay. Kinrick makes a save with his feet. Barrett gets the foot to Geary, has it again. He turns. Higgins is behind, and still Geary. Convin gets it away. Certainly an exciting passage of play from Knockaderry. The ball is kept in play by Scanlon. He plays it for Kindy. Kindy moves into Knockaderry half. Butler challenges. Enright plays it forward, and knocked on by Scanlon, cleared by Condren. Downs gets a foot to it. It comes to Cullum, and we have an offside on this occasion. Certainly Ballingarry were convinced we had an offside situation there, but the referee's assistant on the far side, Tony Fitzmaurice, signalled play to go on. Geary found himself in a fantastic position. He turned and he shot. Kinry came racing off his line and blocked the ball with his foot. It came out again, and the danger was still not cleared. On two more occasions before the danger was cleared, Geary had possession inside the Ballingarry penalty area. Fantastic play by Geary, but unable to finish it. Kinrick did very well to be so quick off his line and to block it down. It was a one-on-one situation, and I'm sure that looking back on it, that Thomas Geary will feel he should perhaps have done better on a one-on-one situation, but I'm sure he perhaps was just as surprised as everybody else here tonight that he was not in an offside position. I think he may have been expecting a whistle, and it may have been a moment's hesitation that might have made the difference. Certainly the Ballingarry defence were caught napping on that occasion, but nonetheless there is no score. It's coming up to the half-time break, and the scoreline still reads Ballingarry 0, Knockaderry 0. But here come Knockaderry again now with the number 7, Thomas Butler, who has become very, very influential in the last 10 minutes for Knockaderry. He plays outside to Geary, but Geary is defeated on that occasion and beaten by Colm Kiley, and I think Colm has a very steady game has had a very steady game, a great competitor from Ballingarry, Colm Kiley, right up through the underage ranks, and has played for the club at every level. Knocked forward again by Knockaderry, a long ball. Owen Barrett is under it, he gets the head to it and beats Geary on that occasion. It's knocked across again, but Higgins is there, and Higgins knocks it out for a corner kick. Knockaderry now, as the first half closes, have certainly found another gear. We've seen quite a great period of play there from Thomas Butler in the midfield area, and Geary certainly has come more into it in the last few minutes again since he's gone and moved back up into the forward area. Nonetheless, I would say that the best chance of the game has fallen to Geary, but that really has been the only clear-cut chance of a goal. We now have a Knockaderry corner. The ball is knocked in, it drops around the penalty spot, it's headed clear. I think it was a Knockaderry head got to it. Brian Downs attempts to get it back outside to the corner kick taker, and the ball is outside now. Number 12, Willie Enright, that took that corner, and he has possession outside now under pressure from Noel McNamara, the Ballingarry midfield player, and it goes outside for a throw taken by Enright, looking inside now for Downs. He tries to knock it across, but Niall Condon is there to clear the danger. It comes forward to Donald O'Grady. Now Donald O'Grady on the halfway line. Can Donald find a teammate? There's two running forward for him. He decides to go back inside and play it all the ways across. I think he was looking for brother Dara, but the breeze caught him and the ball drops, and now we've Enright on the break, moving into the right hand side of the penalty area, and a chip. Willie Enright had decided to take a cross. I think it was a cross. I think it was Geary that was marauding here on the left hand side. His attempted cross come shot was just a little bit overhit. Certainly a breakaway there by Knockaderry. It started with O'Grady on this side, attempted to find brother Dara over on the left hand side. His mishit pass fell behind the Ballingarry wing player, and Knockaderry knocked it forward very quickly, and Enright was the first to react to the sudden play, getting inside, and he went with the early cross come shot, but overheated, and it posed no danger to Kenrick in the end. Nonetheless, Geary was lurking on the left hand side of the goal on that occasion. Ballingarry player now receiving some attention. I'm unsure, I can't see clearly who it is. It may be Niall Condon. I'm midfield player for Ballingarry. There are two Condons in tonight's team. Mike playing a right back and Niall in midfield. We have a couple of brother partnerships in the Ballingarry setup. Owen Barrett, the captain, has his brother Aidan sitting on the bench here tonight. But Niall is able to continue with the game, and Kenrick now takes the kick out for Ballingarry. And it's dropping under. Owen Kindy-Gostin gets the knock on. Donald O'Grady did have his hand on the Knockaderry player's back there. Certainly the referee felt so, and he's awarded a free kick to Knockaderry. So Knockaderry now to take this free kick and clear the danger for themselves again. Knockaderry with the free kick as we look forward. The sun is shining in our eyes here in Clounreask in the late evening on Saturday, the 25th of May, on this occasion of the Desmond Cup Final for the year 2002, with near neighbours in the Ballingarry and Knockaderry fiercely contesting this final. A close game, neither side being able to dominate proceedings for any length of time. We've had periods of domination through the first half, but only one really clear-cut chance, and that fell to Thomas Geary, the Knockaderry forward, and Kenrick was equal to it with a save with his foot on the to clear the danger for Ballingarry on that occasion. As we move into the last minutes of the opening period, we are moving into injury time. Michael Conlon headed on by Kennedy, inside for McNamara. McNamara attempts to get it forward for Kennedy, but he still holds possession. Being challenged here by Donald Sullivan. Donald Sullivan challenges fiercely. The ball is deflected out by a Ballingarry player. It's a throw to Knockaderry. Sullivan with the ball. He throws inside for Colm. Colm turns on Barrett. He gets away. Colm still has possession. Colm turns back again, and Sullivan comes. Sullivan attempts to intervene there, but referee Donie Gorman has seen an infringement and awarded a free kick to Knockaderry. Willie Enright, the substitute who replaced centre half Liam Colm, is going to take this free kick. It's about, I suppose, 15 yards outside the corner, the left-hand corner of the penalty area. It's into the breeze. It will hang up there. If he goes for a high ball, it will hang up there. Danger for Ballingarry. And now we'll see how Knockaderry can make this free kick pay. And it's going in on top of Kenrick, and Kenrick read it very well. It did hang in the breeze and it curled in, but Kenrick was absolutely equal to it on that occasion and held it very, very safely and securely. Kennedy clears for Knockaderry, knocking it outside. Butler chasing back, being supported by Mike O'Connor. Played back now to Mike O'Connor. Mike O'Connor knocks the ball forward, finding number 2, Donie O'Sullivan. Donie O'Sullivan plays it back again to Mike O'Connor. Mike O'Connor knocks it all the way forward, looking for Cullum on that occasion, but the ball is knocked down by Barrett and it falls for Geary, and Geary is in the danger area again, but his cross is easily dealt with by Kenrick. Another example of the danger of the Knockaderry forwards. The Ballingarry defenders have to be on their toes at all times. The ball now drops midway inside the Knockaderry half, touches off O'Grady, doesn't go his way. It's cleared by Kennedy. The ball has gone back into the Ballingarry half, and Barrett has an opportunity to clear. Scanlon on the ball now. Look, Scanlon looks for Kennedy. Kennedy challenged by Owen Kennedy challenged by the Knockaderry centre half, Gerald Kennedy, but Kennedy still has position, turns back, crosses in the ball. Donald O'Grady. We have a flag up. Have we got a flag up? Yes, we've had a flag up. Ballingarry player to be adjudged offside. That cross was aimed for his striking partner, Donald O'Grady. Donald O'Grady, who has scored a number of headed goals this season, quite dangerous in the air, would have loved to have got an opportunity to put his head to that one. As the sun goes in here, as we approach the half-time break in tonight's Desmond Cup Final, Knockaderry about to clear the ball. And I think both teams will be glad to get in at the half-time and review the progress so far and get themselves geared up for the second half to make that big effort that will be required if the deadlock is to be broken here tonight, because two even teams, near neighbours, unable to find a way through. Both goalkeepers have had a couple of shots to save, in particular Kenrick, but have been equal to the challenge on those occasions. The ball now with McNamara. He's attempted back heel for Kennedy, doesn't come off, and it falls for Brian Downs, and referee Donie O'Gorman calls proceedings to a halt. We have the half-time break as the two teams come off the field. I think neither team will be disappointed. I think they will have a lot to learn from what has happened in the first half. Knockaderry were unfortunate to lose their influential centre-half during the game. Willie Enright replaced him, and I would imagine that they will be very disappointed to have lost such an influential player, but nonetheless they will be determined going into the second half to get the goal that will take the Desmond Cup to Knockaderry for the first time. Equally, Ballingarry will be very pleased to get to the break at 0-0. While the better chances fell to Knockaderry, they certainly had their opportunities as well. And considering the disappointment of last Friday night week, I think a 0-0 scoreline at half-time is a good bonus for Ballingarry. They'll take a lot of heart from that, from the point of view they have been inclined to concede early goals in recent games. In fact, it's quite a few games since they got to the half-time break without conceding a goal. So that's very positive for Ballingarry, and it gives them a foundation on which to build. First aid officers John Cronin and Olivia McKenna just last into the dressing rooms there, and hopefully their services won't be required in the second half. Knockaderry have decided not to go back to the dressing rooms. They've gathered over in the left-hand corner of the field, and we'll now take a break for the half-time, and we'll rejoin you with the second half of the 2002 Desmond League Cup Final. Both teams are back on the field. I don't see any changes over the half-time interval, and Ballingarry have the tip off and the game is underway. Both teams will be hoping to find the good net here in the second half and break tonight, the deadlock in tonight's game. Both teams have been very even throughout the game. Ballingarry with a lot of possession but not creating chances, and Knockaderry with the better chances of the half but not able to score. Ballingarry now knocked the ball back to zone. Kennedy finds his captain Owen Barrett. It's cleared by the number 2 Donie O'Sullivan. Strong challenge there by Owen Kennedy and the number 7 Thomas Butler. Thomas Butler with a very good finish to the first half for Knockaderry. The ball is knocked forward early. Colm Underwood fails to get on it, but Geary, the speed of Geary takes him through again, but referee's assistant Liam O'Connor signifies that it was an offside. Geary was offside on that occasion, but certainly Geary's pace was there to be seen again. In the first half for Ballingarry, Noel McNamara had a very good game in midfield, while Higgins and Barrett have been solid at the back. Fullback Colm Kiley and Michael Condon have been both efficient and capable in their duties, but the pace of Cullum and Geary are causing problems. Up front, Kennedy and O'Grady have had no success yet, but have been trying very diligently to make the break for Ballingarry. Kennedy now with the ball, he plays it back to Darragh O'Grady. Darragh O'Grady plays outside for Brother Donald, and we have a free kick. Donie O'Gorman, referee Donie O'Gorman has adjudged that Darragh O'Grady was fouled after the ball went there. We have a free kick. and it's dead centre of the goals. And on this occasion, Ballingarry have elected to bring goalkeeper Pat Kinrick forward to take this free kick. Pat is renowned within the club for both the accuracy and the strength of his kicks. He's a penalty taker, and for such a young man, has a tremendous kick of a ball. And he's come forward, I suppose we're 20 yards outside the Knockaderry penalty area. We're 20 yards outside the 18-yard line, but Knockaderry have a wall. Ollie Dowling, goalkeeper, is getting the wall organised. Kinrick to take this free for Ballingarry. It's accurate. Yes, it's a goal. Kinrick has done it. Pat Kinrick has done it. He has threatened all season to score one of these goals. He's taken many of these free kicks in recent weeks for Ballingarry. It was a fantastic free kick. He floated it up to the top left-hand corner of the ball, of the goal, came off the bar and bounced down and in. Ollie Dowling was unable to reach the ball. Ballingarry have made a breakthrough in the 2nd minute of the second half. A fantastic breakthrough from Ballingarry, and the decision to bring Kinrick up from goal to take that free kick fully vindicated. Ballingarry absolutely thrilled and must now settle themselves to ensure that Knockaderry don't get an early response. Knockaderry coming forward, O'Connor playing the ball forward for the number 7 Butler. Butler gone into the corner, he goes around Kiley, but the ball goes out of the dead ball line. It's a goal kick to Ballingarry. Certainly a dramatic beginning to the second half for Ballingarry. Not many times when you're watching football at any level, either junior, senior, or even across the water in England, do you see a goalkeeper leave his goal to come forward and take a free kick like that and to successfully take it. We've often seen him take them, but not many times score. Pat Kinrick has scored a goal for Ballingarry that puts him in the lead in the 2002 Desmond Cup Final, just 2 minutes into the second half. Kindy finds Dara O'Grady down the left. Dara makes the break. Dara plays it inside for brother Donald. Donald plays it back here for Colm Kiley. Colm Kiley again inside for O'Grady. O'Grady goes centre field. He's been challenged unfairly by Willie Enright. The free kick is to Ballingarry. O'Grady wins that free kick. Captain Owen Barrett comes forward to take it. Certainly Ballingarry won't be bringing forward the goalkeeper on this occasion, as the ball is well left of the goals on this occasion. Owen Kindy and Owen Barrett have it, a quick free kick played inside to McNamara. McNamara tries to return it for Barrett. Barrett chases through. He got a ricochet, almost got in on that occasion. Kindy was there to clear the danger, in right under the ball, and here we have Niall Condon in possession. A free kick against Ballingarry on that occasion. Barrett races to get back, Condon races to get back to the midfield, and Knockaderry to take this free kick now. Dramatic beginning to the second half here in Clounreask, and certainly will open up the game. We should have a great second half here between the two neighbours, Ballingarry and Knockaderry, as the game progresses. McNamara on the ball now as he goes into the Knockaderry half. He looks for O'Grady and finds him. O'Grady goes forward, but no, dispossessed on that occasion by the number 3 Phelan Milan. Phelan Milan wasn't able to come forward with the ball, and McNamara has it now. McNamara attempts to play the ball through for Owen Kindy, but fails. It's cleared and brought out by Donie O'Sullivan. Donie O'Sullivan plays it outside for Butler. Butler moving forward now. Cullen and Geary in the danger areas. He plays it back inside and finds Sullivan again. Sullivan takes a shot. Sullivan's shot not that far away. Certainly a worthy effort from the Knockaderry defender on that occasion. I think everybody was expecting Butler to look for the two centre forwards, Geary and Cullen, on that occasion, but instead he elected to play it inside for the Donie O'Sullivan, who'd made the run forward, and Donie certainly took a quite respectable effort on goal there from Donie. But we are back now with Pat Kinrick about to take the free kick for Ballingarry, and the ball drops. Certainly his kicks are short in the second half. The breeze is playing him. It's knocked down and it falls to Geary. Geary moves out to the left and he chips it forward, looking for the number 11, Donie O'Sullivan. Donie O'Sullivan races in. Donie O'Sullivan got a foot there, but Pat Kinrick was equal to it. Kinrick has been excellent in leaving his line when needed here tonight. He got out there, he got to the ball. Sullivan did get a foot to it, but Kinrick was still equal to the challenge and held possession. It's outside on the right hand side. Joe Scanlon dispossessed by Knockaderry, and it's a throw to Knockaderry. Comes forward, Higgins gets a knockout. Condon helps it on its way, comes towards the halfway line, and McNamara comes away with the ball, challenged by Willie Enright. The ball goes out over the sideline, and it is a throw for Knockaderry, as signified by Tony Fitzmaurice, the referee's assistant, over on the far side. The ball comes forward now for Owen Barrett. Owen Barrett has it and clears the ball again out over the sideline, and another throw for Knockaderry. Knockaderry now have a throw just inside their own half, in front of the grandstand on the far side. The evening has turned chilly. The sun has left us. Thankfully the rain has also stayed away from us, but it has turned very cold here in Clounreask, and I'm sure the spectators find it very chilly standing around here. And for the Knockaderry supporters, they'd love to see the Knockaderry team get the equaliser, and that would certainly help to warm them up in this cold evening. Ballingarry obviously very happy with the situation. O'Grady now coming forward with the ball. He still has possession. He's looking for the pass. He takes the shot. His effort from about 10 yards outside the penalty area was to the right and wide, but certainly that is the first occasion in this game that O'Grady has got free of his markers and got a clear sight of goal. But O'Grady and Kennedy are quite dangerous in those situations, but the Knockaderry rear guard have been very, very good at closing them down throughout the game so far. That was truly the first occasion that O'Grady created some space for himself, but he was quite a distance out and his shot went to the right and wide. Kick out now from Knockaderry and it drops for Kennedy. Kennedy heads it forward straight away and Grady chases onto it in an effort to get there. He got there. O'Grady is inside, he moves on there. He's 1-on-1 on Doly. He takes a shot and it's there. O'Grady has scored for Ballingarry. Second goal for Ballingarry in a matter of minutes. The ball was cleared out by Knockaderry. Kennedy was under it. He headed forward, knowing O'Grady's pace. He headed it into the open space on the left hand side, and O'Grady's pace came across. It appeared he wouldn't get there, but he did. He got the vital touch, got past the Knockaderry defender, approached into the penalty area, 1-on-1 with Dowling, and lethal in those situations. Donald O'Grady made no mistake in beating Dowling. Absolutely no mistake from Donie. We were just speaking, he had had his first opportunity just moments ago. Well, there was his second and he made no mistake. 2-0 to Ballingarry now in the early stages of this second half. Barrett makes interception there. Kennedy knocks it down for Condon. Condon is beaten by Inright. Inright comes forward now. A challenge from McNamara was unsuccessful. Still Inright. Inright chips it forward looking for Geary, but was cut out there by the number 3 Michael Condon. A vital interception there by Michael on that occasion. Referee Donnie O'Gorman notices that we had an offside situation there, so it's a free kick to Ballingarry. Certainly an absolute whirlwind start to the second half by Ballingarry. Throughout the first half they were not able to get beyond the Knockaderry rear guard, but on 2 occasions, through the brilliance of Pat Kinrick's free kick and the determination of Donald O'Grady on that last occasion, they take a 2-goal lead at this stage of the game. Approximately 10 minutes gone in the second half. Knockaderry certainly have a lot to do at this stage. Number 7, Thomas Butler with the ball. He leaves it from a fellow player, Mike O'Connor. Mike O'Connor to take the throw now for Knockaderry. Playing it forward for Cullum. Shawnee Cullum gets past Kiley, but Kiley is still there with Cullum. But Cullum cuts inside Higgins. He gets past them both. It's still Cullum, and Cullum is still going. But Kiley was there to cut out the danger. A great run by Shawnee Cullum there. A determined run, getting past Kiley on the first occasion, Higgins on the second, but he didn't bargain and Kiley being back for a second bite. The ball now being thrown to Cullum. Cullum with possession just out on the right hand side of the penalty area. Kiley is equal to it, gets the ball clear, it only comes to O'Connor. O'Connor gets the cross in, it's clear by Niall Condon. It comes to Inright. Inright has possession now, he moves forward. Inright is going forward. He crosses over the ball, it's cleared by Michael Condon. The ball drops midway the Ballingarry half. And Phelan Milan knocked it back for centre half Gerard Kennedy. Gerard Kennedy knocks it forward low, hoping to get to Sullivan, but on that occasion it isn't. It's cleared and it comes to O'Connor. O'Connor with the ball forward now again. A challenge there by Cullum Kiley and the ball breaks free. Darragh O'Grady knocks it inside for McNamara. McNamara plays the ball in front of Joe Scanlon. Joe Scanlon has possession. Joe Scanlon now attacks the Knockaderry rear guard and Milan is beaten. Scanlon is inside. Scanlon cuts back again. He looks for the cross. He gets the cross in, but it's cleared by Donie O'Sullivan. It only comes to Michael Condon. Michael Condon gets the ball in, and on this occasion it's cleared by, I think it is Downs. Downs comes forward with the ball. He knocks it forward, and he finds Geary over on the left hand side. Geary now possession being closed down by James Higgins, being supported by McNamara and Condon. The ball ricochets off Higgins' back, and again Geary still has possession as he moves in towards the corner flag. An interception there by McNamara, and we have possession for Knockaderry up there. I think it is a throw, and Knockaderry have possession close to the Ballingarry end line. A great breakaway attack there by Knockaderry. Knockaderry determined to get back in this game. Absolutely shell-shocked there at this stage to have conceded 2 goals so early in the second half, having been so secure at the back throughout the first half. The ball is knocked out now for another throw over on the left-hand side. On this occasion it's Ballingarry possession. Michael Condon goes to take the ball. He certainly will be in no hurry. I think Ballingarry will want to settle the game down now. They have a 2-goal lead. They don't want to do anything silly at this stage, and they want to consolidate their position. The ball is cleared forward by Higgins, but it crosses the sideline, and we have another throw. And I see linesman's assistant Tony Fitzmaurice signalling the sideline throw on that occasion. Throw is taken. He finds Cullum inside. Cullum turns inside. He looks for support, and he gets support from Donie O'Sullivan. Donie O'Sullivan takes a snapshot, but it's straight at Kinrick, and Kinrick makes no mistake going to his knees immediately to cover the danger, and he clears the ball. His clearances are short in this second half. The breeze is against him, and the breeze took that ball cross field, and it comes out over the near touchline here. A throw to Knockaderry about 15 yards inside their own half. Mike O'Connor will take the throw. Michael O'Connor now with the throw for Knockaderry. He plays it. Cullum comes back to help out. Barrett on this occasion is equal to the challenge and knocks the ball forward, but it comes for Inright. Inright challenged by Niall Condon. Niall Condon moves forward with the ball. Niall Condon for Ballingarry. He looks for the pass. He plays it through, looking for Donald O'Grady. Donald O'Grady, who scored for Ballingarry just moments ago. Donald with possession inside the penalty area, unable to get past two Knockaderry players. The ball ricochets. It falls for Kennedy. Kennedy with possession. What can Kennedy do? Kennedy takes a shot. Kennedy has fantastic snapshot from Owen Kennedy just on the D. Immediately turned and shot. Dowling was down. I think Dowling may have had it covered. It was just outside the left hand side of the goal. I do think that the Knockaderry goalkeeper Ollie Dowling might have reached it. I think he would have reached it on that occasion, but certainly it was a great shot, and that is Owen Kennedy's first shot in anger in this game. Other than the snapshot he had in the first half, Owen has had few opportunities, but on this occasion that was a great attempt by Owen Kennedy. Now we have a substitution for Knockaderry. We'll see who's gone off. I think it might be Brian Downs, who has left the field of play for Knockaderry, and I think it's Coleman Duffy. Yes, I think it's Coleman Duffy who has entered the fray for Knockaderry. He's been introduced, I'm sure, to try and get this Knockaderry team going and get them back in tonight's game. Certainly it has been a terrible start for them in the second half. They're finding it hard to come to grips with the game, and we now have a cross in from Knockaderry. It's coming. Kenrick comes for it. The ball falls. His Geary got it, but Kenrick recovers. There is no doubt about it, but that was a great recovery from Kenrick. When he came the first time, he didn't get clean possession, but Geary, the danger man for Knockaderry, appeared to have an opportunity to score, but somehow Kenrick recovered the situation and got the ball into his hands. A great save there by Pat Kenrick. We have Coleman Duffy involved for the first time in the game, just come on for Ballingarry, for Knockaderry, and the ball breaks from Michael O'Connor, who knocks the ball forward, but unfortunately the Knockaderry forwards, both Geary and Cullum, I think would have been offside on that occasion. The Ballingarry defence very quickly out on that occasion. Certainly the second half in comparison to the first has been action-packed in this opening quarter. We've had two great goals, we've had another opportunity, and we've had Knockaderry very unfortunate there, with Kenrick making two great saves already in this second half to deny them a goal to get back into this game. Now we have Kennedy chasing the ball here. He's unable to get there. It's a throw, and as president of the club, Moss Doody looks on. I'm sure he is just absolutely delighted, because there was nobody in the club that would like to see a success for Ballingarry tonight more than Moss. As Moss looks on, we see Donald O'Grady with possession, and he goes past Coleman Duffy, the substitute. O'Grady goes for the line looking for the cross, and he gets the cross in, but he gets a deflection. It falls for Dowling. Dowling is out quickly for it, and an immediate kick out from Knockaderry. The ball drops on Higgins. Higgins heads out to the left, and O'Connor was unable to get it, so it's a throw to Knockaderry. Knockaderry now with possession just inside the Ballingarry half. Quick throw from O'Connor, finds substitute Duffy. Duffy plays it forward to Cullum. Cullum certainly has been very, very influential for Knockaderry, and the man that just kicked the ball there, Willie Enright, has made a big contribution since he came on for the unfortunate Liam Cullum in the first half. The ball is knocked back by Geary for Butler. Butler's attempted shot just screws off his boot. He was unfortunate, he didn't make a clean connection, and the ball screws off to the left and goes wide. Another opportunity for Ballingarry to settle themselves down, to consolidate what they have and take the sting out of the game, because certainly Knockaderry are stinging from the events of the last few minutes. They are attempting to get they're attempting to get back into the game, and they're certainly putting a big effort. As we look around the ground now, we see club sponsor PJ Barrett is here at tonight's game. He's obviously delighted with the way things are going, and he will be hoping that Ballingarry can bring the cup home tonight. The ball is knocked forward by Knockaderry, and Geary's under it. Higgins gets there first. Higgins knocks outside to fullback Michael Condon. Michael Condon has the ball, and he turns back. Michael Condon knocks the ball forward. He was looking there for Joe Scanlon, but unfortunately he didn't find him. It's a throw to Knockaderry, about 20 yards inside the Ballingarry half. A foul throw on that occasion. Ballingarry have possession. Joe Scanlon has the ball. He'll leave it for Condon, I've no doubt. Michael Condon will take this throw. Ballingarry certainly are taking their time now. They're attempting to take the sting out of the game at 2-0. They want to reduce the tempo of the game, and in doing so they would be hoping to reduce Knockaderry's chances of getting a goal back. Enright with possession now in midfield, being challenged by McNamara. McNamara did really well there to win the ball. O'Grady attempts to play the ball through for Kennedy, but doesn't get there. But McNamara is there with a touch. It falls for Gerald Kennedy, the centre half of Knockaderry. Barrett comes forward with the ball. It ricochets back to Niall Condon. Niall Condon attempts to find Donald O'Grady. O'Grady with the ball now. O'Grady comes inside, but Willie Enright is there to break up the play for Knockaderry, and he brings the ball forward. Owen Barrett comes across to cut him out. He comes off of Milan. Milan comes inside with the ball now. He knocks it all the way across the centre half. Gerard Kindy. Gerard Kindy plays it outside here to Michael O'Connor. Michael O'Connor has the ball now and plays it forward. His attempted pass to Butler didn't come off on that occasion. Or in fact, was that pass was to Donald O'Sullivan, the fullback. Now we have Coleman Duffy, the substitute for Knockaderry, possession in the middle of the park, and the ball has been knocked out as we look back here, and there is a Ballingarry player that has sustained an injury in that last exchange, and very sportingly Coleman Duffy immediately saw that the player needed attention, and the Knockaderry players have kicked the ball out for a throw. Niall Conlon is back on his feet. He's going to run the injury off. Certainly Niall is a great competitor. He's known in the club as a great battler with never say die attitude, and certainly fearless in the tackle, and I'm sure Niall will have no difficulty in running off this injury. The play begins now with a throw. Joe Scanlon knocks the ball back to the Knockaderry players, and they'll have a throw, and that's only the correct thing to do. A very sporting gesture by Knockaderry to kick the ball out in the first instance. So the game will resume with a throw for Knockaderry midway into their own half. The throw is taken, it comes forward just over the halfway, and Niall Conlon, Owen Kindy was the man that got under it. We now have Dara O'Grady with an effort. Donald O'Grady, that's Donald. That was Donald and Dara, they're two brothers, they're both up there. You can see them in picture. I was mixed up for a moment which of them had made the breakthrough, but certainly Donald O'Grady is on fire in the second half. Owen Kindy that broke up the play out in the midway part of the pitch. The ball came forward, and Donald O'Grady with his electric pace was on it instantly, but on that occasion his shot was to the right and wide. Certainly the half-time cup of tea, whatever they put in it for Donald, he has found a new gear in the second half. Owen Kindy comes forward and breaks up the play again and heads the ball forward. Dara O'Grady here chases, attempts to get there before it goes out of the sideline, but doesn't get there, and it's a throw. Coleman Duffy will take the throw for Knockaderry. Knockaderry with the throw now, to throw the ball forward, and again Kindy has been breaking up play and reading the play very, very well in this second half. On a number of occasions the last few minutes he's been the player underneath the clearance to head it forward. Owen Barrett knocks the ball forward now, and Donald O'Grady is on it. Unfortunate touch, but it falls for McNamara. McNamara knocks it inside for Kennedy. Kindy with Michael O'Connor now. Michael O'Connor cuts out the danger and plays it back to goalkeeper Dowling. Dowling as a clearance comes to Duffy. He's under pressure from O'Grady, but now O'Connor has it. O'Connor comes away, he plays it inside, and he finds Cullum. Cullum now turns to go forward, but James Higgins is there to stop him, and we have, there's a free kick I think in the centre of the field there. Noel McNamara was attempting to go for the ball, and he had a clash with Mike O'Connor, the Knockaderry midfielders, two midfielders clashing there, and referee Donie O'Gorman is going to have a word with Mike O'Connor. In fact, he's showing him the yellow card. As I look around me now, certainly the temperatures here in Clounreask have dropped quite dramatically in the last 15 or 20 minutes, and I see lots of the supporters around shivering in the cold. Certainly the Ballingarry supporters have something to warm them, but the Knockaderry people will be hoping that their team can generate a great fight back in the last quarter of today's game. Noel McNamara getting some attention. Unfortunately, I see some clouds gathering over to my left, and I hope that the rain will stay away. We've been very fortunate as we look around here. I think you can see the temperature that we're living in here tonight on the people's faces. People are huddling, but nonetheless nobody here tonight would miss this game for any chance at all, because everyone here, both Knockaderry and Ballingarry supporters, would love to see their respective clubs take home this prestigious trophy tonight. Certainly the Ballingarry supporters at this stage would be, I suppose, at a stage where they might be just beginning to hope that it could happen for Ballingarry tonight, but there's a long ways to go yet, and anything can happen. The ball drops in the edge of the line of the box and is knocked on by Kennedy, but Ollie Dowling has absolutely no difficulty whatsoever in collecting that, and a quick kick out from Ollie Dowling. Dowling knocks the ball forward now and hit it on by Cullum out to Willie Enright. Willie Enright was challenged strongly there by Michael Conlon, and the ball breaks. It breaks now, and Michael Conlon gets there again. He challenges with the number 2 Donie O'Sullivan. It goes for a throw for Knockaderry. Sullivan takes it quickly. He's looking for Geary. Higgins has seen the danger and cuts the ball out. He still has possession. James Higgins, the elder statesman of this Ballingarry team, he's seen so much football, played so many games for Ballingarry. This would be his crowning glory if he was part of the Ballingarry team to take the Desmond Cup back to Ballingarry here tonight, and he certainly has had a very, very good game. McNamara knocks the ball forward, and O'Grady's pace will be tested here again. Now O'Grady goes for the ball. He gets a touch on the ball, but he's been challenged very successfully by the Knockaderry. But here we have Dara. Dara gets in. He has an opportunity to shoot. He knocks it across the face of the goal. Dowling goes down for, gets a touch and breaks the ball, and he goes out and collects it. Dara, O'Grady and Donald combined there to certainly
open up the Knockaderry defence. O'Grady's pace again the telling factor. In the first half we had the pace of Cullum and Geary causing all sorts of problems for Ballingarry, but the story of the second half has been the improvement in play by Kennedy and O'Grady up front for Ballingarry. Both of them very pacey and prolific scorers. They've both really got into the game in the second half, and O'Grady's pace has been a real problem for Knockaderry. The ball now goes forward, and Pat Kinrick, the Ballingarry net stopper, has no difficulty whatsoever in collecting that, brings it to the edge of his area, and he now takes the kick. The ball will drop well inside the Knockaderry half. Darragh O'Grady under it. He doesn't get to it. Mike O'Connor gets the hit on that ball. It comes outside there, and it's Butler. Strong challenge on Butler there by Niall Conlon. Or the referee comes over to talk to Conlon. It was a very strong challenge. He really took Thomas Butler out of it. Butler attempted to get away, and he is shown the yellow card. Certainly, I think Niall will have no complaints about that. The slippery conditions caused him to mistime that challenge, and the free kick is to Knockaderry. Centre half Gerard Kennedy will take this free kick. Quite a number of the Knockaderry team have gone forward to the edge of the 18-yard line. They are going to attempt to get something out of this set piece. Kennedy comes forward to take, and now a lot of movement up in front of him. He sends it over to that far side. It drops. Owen Barrow calls for it. He gets ahead to it. It drops for I'm unsure now, the Knockaderry player. I think it might have been Donald Sullivan. I'm not quite sure that the ball dropped for there, but nonetheless it's knocked out wide. It's a goal kick to Ballingarry, and Knockaderry weren't able to create anything out of that set piece. Yes, in fact, as I look around, there's been quite a few positional switches by the management in Knockaderry. I see Donald Sullivan, who was playing left wing, now appears to be playing left back. Yes, there certainly has been some changes, and Donie O'Sullivan has moved up further the field. Butler here now attempts to stop the ball going out of the sideline, but he was unable to do so on this occasion. Ballingarry have a throw. Kiley takes the throw. It comes from Owen Kindy. Owen Kindy cuts inside. Again, Butler is involved. Certainly, Butler, just 19 years of age, has had a tremendous game for Knockaderry here tonight in the midfield. He has covered every blade of grass on the field. He's had a great game. Michael Conlon cuts out the danger for Ballingarry, hoping to put Scanlon away. Scanlon being challenged by Willie Enright, substitute in the first half for the unfortunate Liam Cullum. Enright gets there, is adjudged to have been fouled, and I think we have a free kick to Knockaderry over there. Certainly Enright did very well to catch the pacey Joe Scanlon on that occasion, and the referee has a few words with the Ballingarry player. Kennedy to take the kick now for Knockaderry. Mike O'Connor, I see, has moved up here quite quietly on the right hand side, and certainly Ballingarry would want to be watchful of the Knockaderry midfielder. If the ball broke this way, Mike would certainly know what to do with it. The ball breaks and it comes back for Donald Sullivan. He knocks it back for Coleman Duffy. Duffy now with possession, and he plays it outside for Kennedy. Kennedy with the long ball forward. Cullum challenges forward, but it comes back again for Duffy. Certainly since he's come on here in the second half, Coleman Duffy has seen quite a lot of the play. The Knockaderry substitute has been busy. Darragh O'Grady wins possession there. He plays inside for brother Donald. Donald looks to see what his options are. He plays at centre. Owen Kennedy, his forward partner, moves forward with the ball now, approaches the goals, has the shot. A fine shot by Owen Kennedy, put in by Darragh O'Grady, or Donald O'Grady. He's shot a good, strong, low shot, but just left hand side of the goals and wide. A big change for the Ballingarry forwards in this half. They are getting turned, they are getting shots on goal. Darragh O'Grady influential in that move. He cut out the ball here just inside his own half, moved forward, found brother Donald, and Donald looked up, saw that his striking partner Kennedy had made the run, played him on, and Kennedy had the shot. Cleared now by Knockaderry. Darragh O'Grady under it again, headed forward for brother Donald. Donald gets ahead to it. Can he get control of it? He struggles to get control, being surrounded by three Knockaderry players. Darragh O'Grady comes to help again. Michael Connor looks back for support. Michael Connor is looking for support. Where are the rest of the defenders? He finds it. He's played it inside now for Milan. Milan moves forward. Milan for Enright. Enright in the centre circle now looks up to see what are his options. He plays it forward for Geary. Michael Connor gets a touch. Donald O'Sullivan helps the ball on, and Joe Scanlon gets the clearance from Ballingarry. The ball comes to McNamara. McNamara helps it on its way, and we have Niall Conlon chasing across here to get to Kennedy. Niall Conlon still chasing. Enright plays it back again for Kennedy, and Kennedy has possession for Knockaderry in their own half. Kennedy knocks the ball forward early. Michael Connor just goes over his head. Darragh O'Grady gets a possession and plays it to Kennedy. Kennedy plays it forward now for Donald O'Grady. Donald O'Grady looking. He sees Niall Conlon in space. Niall Conlon now has possession. Joe Scanlon takes it off his toe. Joe Scanlon goes forward. Joe has the shot. And unfortunately, Joe wasn't really able to settle himself The ball sort of got in under his feet. He didn't get a clear strike on the ball, but 'twas a great run by him and fine work by Ballingarry. And I must compliment Darragh O'Grady again, in very, very influential in that passage of play. And the ball crossing, a series of passes taking the ball across, finding Niall Condon in space on the right, and Joe Scanlon on an absolutely rip-roaring run took the ball from Niall Condon's toe, ran into the Knockaderry penalty area and was confident enough to have this shot, but unfortunately it was to the left and wide. Cleared now again by Knockaderry. Condon gets the interception. It comes to Grady. Grady looks aside for brother Darragh. Darragh has it now. It's challenged by Duffy, but it's still there. Michael Connor midfield comes back to help. He plays it inside for Milan, and still Darragh O'Grady battles on. 1 against 3. O'Grady still battles. He plays it inside for Niall Condon. Condon gets the call. Condon comes back inside. Was he tripped? Was he tripped? He was. Referee Donie O'Grady has pointed to the spot. Niall Condon got possession about 10 yards out from the goal. He turned, attempted to go on goal and fell to the ground, and it looked like a trip from here. Ballingarry have a penalty kick. A penalty kick as we are approximately a half an hour into the second half. Joe Scanlon, who just 1 week ago scored 2 penalties for Ballingarry on this very ground in that very goal. Ollie Dowling versus Joe Scanlon. Scanlon comes up to take the shot. Scanlon takes the shot and Scanlon scores. That's 3 out of 3 for Joe Scanlon here at Clounreask from the penalty spot at the same end of the pitch. Ballingarry, that is a significant step for Ballingarry towards the taking home of the Desmond Cup here tonight. James Higgins comes up to congratulate Scanlon. Certainly for such a young player, just 18, he's had such a cool head in front of goal from the penalty spot for Ballingarry in recent weeks. Last Friday night week, he scored 2 penalties for Ballingarry. Knockaderry restart play now. Certainly it's a testament to the lad that at such tender years that he has the confidence to take those penalties, because they are a nerve-wracking thing to have to do. And now we have Shawnee Cullen with possession inside in the corner. He plays it inside for Thomas Butler. Butler plays it across now. It goes past everybody, but we have Michael Connor, who's popped up on the left-hand side, has possession for Knockaderry now, and he crosses the ball. Geary is under it, but Kenrick gets a hand to it. Darragh O'Grady gets a touch on it, playing it outside for, oh, that was Owen Kindy, plays outside for Darragh. Owen Kindy now has the ball. No, the ball has been cut out by Butler. Butler plays inside for Willie Enright. Willie Enright now moving forward with the ball. Blocked down by Niall Condon. Niall Condon certainly has come into his own in the second half. He's been very influential in the last few minutes. Ball is played. Knockaderry have possession. Butler crosses over the ball, but it comes to McNamara, and Scanlon were there. The ball is knocked forward, and Donald O'Grady and Phelan Milan challenge, but it goes out for a throw, and Phelan Milan will take the throw for Knockaderry. We have another substitution. Knockaderry are making their 3rd substitution tonight. They have used up all their options now. You're allowed 3 substitutions, and they're just making their 3rd substitution. We'll identify the substitute in a minute. We'll see who has gone off and who has been replaced. But Knockaderry have played their last card here in tonight's Desmond Cup Final, the 2002 Desmond Cup Final between Ballingarry and Knockaderry. Knockaderry have used all 3 substitutes. The first of them been forced through injury to centre half Liam Cullum. But the Knockaderry management team have attempted to play their last card in an effort to turn this game around. Anything is possible in football, but it certainly is a mountain to climb now for Knockaderry. 3 goals down with 10-15 minutes to go. It certainly is a mountain to climb, but anything is possible, and I have no doubt that Knockaderry will try to the very last to retrieve this situation. The Ballingarry first aid officer, Olivia McKenna, was just on there giving some treatment to Owen Barrett, but as she leaves the field now, we're getting ready to restart play. Thankfully, we have had a very clean game of football here tonight with no outrageous or dangerous challenges, and both teams playing it in the sporting manner that it should be played and be fitting close neighbours as Knockaderry and Ballingarry are. Knockaderry now with the throw. Kennedy clears it out. Comes to Milan. Milan tries to turn around McNamara. McNamara is adjudged to have been over enthusiastic there, and it's a free kick to Knockaderry. Ballingarry now are about to make their first substitution in tonight's Desmond League Cup Final. I think it might well be Niall Condon, who has been really in the thick of things for the last few minutes and got some treatment for an injury, and I think the management have decided to bring him ashore. I think Michael Condon or Michael Corrigan will be the substitute. I think that Ballingarry management at this stage will have next week's game against Killarney in mind. They certainly won't be taking any chances with the key players of sustaining any injuries or doing any harm to themselves with a vital league game still to play in this outstanding season for the Ballingarry junior team. McNamara now hits the ball forward and he gets it all the way through for Kennedy. Kennedy has to go himself because O'Grady is off. Kennedy has been brought down. This is an interesting situation. Referee Donie O'Gorman has a difficult decision to make here. Kennedy could have passed to Donald O'Grady, but he realised that Donald O'Grady was offside. Gerard Kennedy, the centre half for Knockaderry, was in a difficult situation. He had no choice but to make the foul, and referee Donald O'Gorman has recognised that fact and has issued the yellow card on this occasion. A free to Ballingarry. Again, goalkeeper Kenrick stays on his goal, and Owen Kennedy, Noel McNamara and Michael Corrigan stand over the ball. It's about 5 or 6 yards outside the D. It's dead centre. It is a good opportunity, and Owen Kennedy can strike these balls very, very well. There's a wall for Knockaderry. Dowling is worried, and the shot comes in, and Dowling makes a great save. That's a great save from Ali Dowling in goals for Knockaderry. You could see in the place he prepared for that free kick, he was concerned about it, getting his wall right, and he obviously got it right because that was a fine free kick from Owen Kennedy and a fine save from the Knockaderry shot stopper. He certainly did his work well there for Knockaderry. We now have a corner for Ballingarry. Owen Kennedy, the free taker, has gone out to take this corner kick. And the ball comes in, and Corrigan is under it, Owen Barrett is under it, but again there's adjudged to have been some pushing inside in the Knockaderry goal. It's going to be a free out for Knockaderry, and I think that the Knockaderry players will be very thankful to their goalkeeper Ali Dowling on that occasion for keeping the score at 3-0. That was a fine save, and he did his work well with the wall. Darragh O'Grady has possession now, cutting out Coleman Duffy's clearance, but Duffy retrieves the situation. It comes for Corrigan, the substitute for Ballingarry. Corrigan after going into midfield and replacing Niall Condren. Now we have Kennedy coming forward with the ball for Knockaderry. He moves into the Ballingarry half. He plays the ball forward looking for Geary, but James Higgins, a veteran of so many disappointments, a veteran of so many games for Ballingarry, so little glory for so many games, but tonight that could all be changed for James Higgins. James Higgins, who retired for 2 seasons and only came back this season to help out with the junior team, has been an influential player both at management and at player level this season, and he will be absolutely thrilled to have been part of this great night for Ballingarry. He has made 350 odd appearances for the club, which is a record for our club, and I'm certain it is a record for many, many clubs around the Desmond League. Taking the throw now is Darragh O'Grady, a young man who has a long ways to go with the club, a minor this year, and certainly has a very bright future with the club. His brother Donie in possession, and he attempts to find Darragh. Darragh makes the run and gets the ball. Darragh now has the opportunity to cross. Darragh looks up at what his options are. Darragh goes through. He's getting there. Darragh cut out by Duffy. Duffy takes the clearance, and the ball is out over the sideline here for a throw. Michael Corrigan comes to take the throw. In fact, Michael has decided to leave it for Colm Kiley. Darragh is a little bit worse to wear for that last run. He certainly has been very involved in the second half here for Ballingarry. A throw now for Ballingarry, about 20 yards inside the Knockaderry half. Left back Colm Kiley will take the throw. Michael Corrigan looks for the ball. Colm looks around for his options. He goes for Donald O'Grady. Donald O'Grady knocks it back to the thrower. Kiley knocks it forward, and it's cleared by Sullivan. It's now gone forward again. Scanlon gets a touch on the ball. Donald Sullivan tries to come away with the ball, but he's challenged by Scanlon and McNamara. McNamara chases after to try and stop the ball going off the sideline. He fails. Donald Sullivan there being challenged by 2 Ballingarry players on that occasion. We have another substitution for Ballingarry. Another man who has seen many is the sad day for Ballingarry. He's a great servant of the club. Our club chairman is about to come onto the field. John, who has given Trojan service to the club right down through the years as well. John has 300 odd appearances for the club, and he's coming on. John Cronin taking the field, delighted as chairman to be part of this great night for Ballingarry at 3-0. He will be hoping to be part of taking the cup back to Ballingarry. Certainly he's done great things for the club down through the years. Cut out here now by Colm Kiley. Kiley and Inright run, but Inright is going to win the race. Inright decides to play it back to goalkeeper Dowling. John Cronin has replaced Darragh O'Grady, I would think, on this occasion, and John will take up the left of midfield position for the latter stages of this game, with Darragh O'Grady having been rested after putting in a Trojan effort in the last few minutes for Ballingarry. McNamara challenges out there, but the ball is knocked forward by Sullivan, looking for Geary. Geary's cut out there by Michael Condon. Certainly Michael Condon has been completely on top of things down that side in the second half. The ball is turning for Shawnee Cullum. Shawnee Cullum, who's had a fine game for Knockaderry, his ball breaks out, it's knocked out, and it comes in again, and on this occasion it goes wide. It will be a goal kick, and Pat Kinrick will restart play with a goal kick for Ballingarry. Certainly as we wind down the clock in this second half of the 2002 Desmond Cup Final, Ballingarry would appear to be in pole position to take the cup back to the Garden Town now at a 3-0 lead. Knocked out by Inright, after finding Butler. Butler knocks the ball out for Sullivan. Sullivan looking for the pass. He's looking for Butler again. His chip. Butler unfortunate there, cut out by Kiley. Kiley plays it to McNamara and looks for the return ball, which was cut out there on that occasion by the number 9, Shawnee Cullum. Kiley with the throw now, looking for Darragh O'Grady. Duffy gets away the clearance. John Cronin has a touch. The substitute for Knockaderry, second half substitute, plays the ball, which is cut out by McNamara. The ball comes forward again for Knockaderry. It falls between Barrett and Kiley. Barrett tries some sort of a flick. I don't know what it was. It certainly was not befitting of a Desmond Cup final. Thomas Geary got his opportunity, and Geary, ever dependable for Knockaderry, made no mistake. And Ballingarry have conceded an absolutely stupid goal in the late stages of the game. Certainly that was a stupid goal. It possibly is only a consolation for Knockaderry, but in a game of football you never know. The ball sort of fell between two stools, between Kiley and Barrett. They failed to clear it between them, and we now have a situation where the scoreline reads 3-1. John Cronin here attempts to get possession for Ballingarry, and the ball goes out over the sideline, a throw for Ballingarry. The ball is knocked forward by Michael Corrigan, but there's an offside against Owen Kennedy, and it's a kick for Knockaderry. Knockaderry now there's suddenly an urgency to their play. They see that maybe there is a chance. Top scorer Geary has pulled one back for them. It's 3-1. And as I said to you earlier, this team will not give up. Knockaderry will try to the very last, because they have known defeat twice before in this competition. They've been here twice before, beaten by Rakiel on both occasions. They don't want to make it 3 in a row, and Knockaderry have a fierce determination to bring something out of this game. Knockaderry now have possession midway through the second half. Centre half Gerard Kennedy sets the ball up. I wonder, will Kennedy have a shot from this long distance? Ballingarry are setting up a wall. Kinrick is concerned about the situation. There are 3 players looking at it. I think Kennedy will be the taker. Perhaps Inright may decide that he might fancy a pass, but certainly Knockaderry are attempting to do something special from this one. Kennedy takes it. He strikes it against the wall. He gets a second bite at the cherry. Comes outside. Cullum is under it. Cullum chips it back inside for Geary. Geary's attempted cross ball came into the hands of Kinrick, and the danger is cleared on this occasion. O'Grady under it. Cuff. O'Grady and Duffy under it on that occasion. Referee O'Gorman saw an infringement. I didn't see it myself, and it's a free out to Knockaderry. The number 2, Donie Sullivan, plays the ball to Inright. Inright now sends it back to Sullivan again. Sullivan plays it outside here for Duffy. Duffy now moving up the right hand side for Knockaderry. Duffy plays it inside. He's after finding the number 11, Donald Sullivan, but Owen Barrett, the centre half, comes free with the ball. Owen Kennedy has it. Owen Kennedy has gone in an offside position. Owen Barrett has to continue to play on. He's lost possession. The ball is cleared. Michael Corrigan now knocks the ball back into danger, and here's Kennedy now. Kennedy has an opportunity to break. He's been closed by Donald O'Sullivan, but he cuts inside. Donie O'Sullivan can't stop him. Kennedy continues to try. He hits it off the post. It comes to Barrett. Barrett screws it. It screws off of Barrett's right foot with the goal at his mercy. Certainly, Owen Barrett, after the exertions of getting so far up the field, just wasn't able to compose himself to take the opportunity when Kennedy's shot came off the post, having beaten Dowling, and fell for Barrett. It just would not happen for the Ballingarry captain on that occasion. A gaping goal. Certainly, this second half has been incident-packed. Incident-packed is the only way to describe it, with a lot of action in both goal mouths, and that was a chance. Knockaderry to restart play now again. They have a free on the halfway line. Knockaderry to take this free. He'll knock it in, I've no doubt. They will be looking for something special in the end of that. But I think it was Cullum Kiley that got his head to it, but there was adjudged to have been an infringement. We have a free kick, and Pat Kinrick will restart proceedings with a free kick for Ballingarry. We're certainly winding down the clock now. As we look over to the right hand side, we see many of the patrons deciding that they've seen enough and beginning to move towards the cars. And over here behind Kinrick's goal, also quite a number of people moving away. I think they feel at 3-1 Knockaderry have just too much to do this last minute. And Cronin is through. Cronin suddenly made a breakthrough. Cronin chips the ball. And John Cronin, chairman of Ballingarry AFC, on the field just a matter of minutes, has scored Ballingarry's 4th goal, and the goal that will ensure that the Desmond Cup is going to the Garden Town on tonight, the 25th of May, the year 2002. The first Desmond Cup to ever go to Ballingarry, the first in its history, and John Cronin has become a part of that history. The break of the ball, he was first onto it, and he made no mistake, chipping goalkeeper Ollie Dowling and making no mistake. John Cronin on the score sheet for Ballingarry. As we watched the crowd go away, we almost missed it. It happened so quickly. Knockaderry on the attack here, outfiles for Donie, and Donie O'Sullivan has pulled one back for Knockaderry. It is action-packed here in Ballingarry. As we were just discussing, John Cronin's goal, Knockaderry from the kick-off have gone straight up the field. Geary and Sullivan, determined not to give up, made their way up the left-hand side. Geary played Sullivan inside, and Donie O'Sullivan, who has had a very good game for Knockaderry, made absolutely no mistake, giving Kinrick no chance whatsoever. We now have a scoreline of 4-2. Could anyone believe us?
If you miss a second, you miss a lot. I'm really doing that.
Certainly at 4-2, who would have thought that at half-time, with a 0-0 scoreline, that we would be witnessing a 4-2 thriller. Knockaderry certainly have great reserves, depth in reserves. They are not giving up, and Donie O'Sullivan has got a goal that gives them more hope as we move into the final minutes. The ball forward now by Knockaderry. Coleman Duffy runs onto it. Owen Kindy comes out to try and shut out the danger. It's knocked inside to Inright. Inright has a chance to take the shot. It comes off of Cronin, and Kinrick is equal to it. Kinrick has possession of the ball. Kinrick comes forward and he looks, he takes the throw. He finds Kindy on the left-hand side. Owen Kindy has an opportunity to run now. His strike path of Grady is there. He plays it through for Grady. Grady gets a touch on it. He moves to the left, a little bit too far to the left. He's been closed down. Can Grady do something? Grady chips it across. He was looking for his teammate Scanlon, but was cut out by Gerard Kindy, the centre half for Knockaderry. We now have Mike Corrigan on possession. He doesn't realise he's been so closely attended to by Shawnee Cullum. Inright attempts to get back possession of the ball for Knockaderry, and it falls for Owen Kindy, who plays it outside for Joe Scanlon. Joe Scanlon now in possession of the ball for Ballingarry over on the right hand side. Joe looks to see what are his options. Noel McNamara is making a run for him to see can he help out. Joe Scanlon contrives to get a throw ball, which is just what Ballingarry need at the moment, because at the moment Ballingarry need to slow the game down. The tempo of the game for the last few minutes, I think, has been just electric. We had the excitement of John Cronin's goal, and I would say certainly within 25 or 30 seconds, Knockaderry immediately responded with a goal from Donie O'Sullivan. A scoreline of 4-2. Who would ever have thought it? We move into injury time in this Desmond Cup final. Is there more drama ahead of us here tonight? Surely Ballingarry can hold off Knockaderry now as we move into injury time. 4 goals to 2. McNamara gets a touch on the ball, knocks it out for a throw. Is there more drama to unfold here tonight in Clounreask? Certainly we won't be taking our eyes off it. As we watched some people leave earlier, we very nearly missed John Cronin's goal, and that certainly would have been a travesty to miss the chairman scoring in the first ever Desmond Cup final that Ballingarry have competed in, and certainly they have competed well. It is a completely different to the way we got on against Crees a week ago. Ballingarry came out of the traps much better tonight. They kept it steady in the first half, kept the clean sheet, and found the extra gear in the second half that was required to wrest this game away from Knockaderry. Knockaderry, who looked very comfortable in the first half, were just got such a hammer blow when Kinrick struck that free kick, followed up so quickly by Grady's goal. It was a terrible start to the second half. They were reeling from it, and it took Knockaderry quite a while to settle to the task again. It is difficult to come back from a 2-0 situation, especially when the goals are scored so quickly after the half-time break. Knockaderry knocked the ball forward now again, and we have Cullum under the ball. Cullum challenges with Michael Condon. I think there was an unfortunate clash there. Shawnee Cullum was making a genuine effort to get at the ball, and I think Michael Condon was very unlucky that he clashed with Cullum there. I don't think there was any intent whatsoever involved in that occasion. Certainly Shawnee Cullum has had a great game for Knockaderry here tonight, and to be very unfortunate if we finished up now with an injury to Michael Condon. First aid officer Olivia McKenna is on the field, and she's attending to Mike Condon, our right full back, as he as he attempts to recover from that knock that he took when he clashed there with Sean Cullum, the Knockaderry captain. I think, in fact, the management have decided that perhaps to substitute would be the correct thing to do, and Ballingarry are going to use their third substitute. They're bringing on their third substitute, and Michael Condon will leave the field. I don't think there's a serious injury by any means, but the management team will take no chances at this stage, as we are in injury time in the 2002 Desmond Cup Final. Ballingarry 4, Knockaderry 2. What a game, what a second half. We may not find much to speak about in the first half, but certainly the second 45 minutes have given us oceans to look back on and remember. An action-packed second half, and certainly so keenly contested by both teams. We now have O'Grady in possession in the danger area for Knockaderry. O'Grady chips the ball across. He's looking for Scanlon. Scanlon is challenged by Donie Sullivan, who's had a great finish to this game. And we have John Cronin challenging. Joe Scanlon's inside. Joe Scanlon attempts the shot. It comes to, but Dowling is equal to Dowling fumbles. He gets away with it. It's cleared by Sullivan. Sullivan's clearance goes to midfield and it's knocked down up to the other goalkeeper, and in the space of seconds it goes from one goalkeeper to the other. Joe Scanlon unable to beat Knockaderry goalkeeper Dowling on that occasion, but when it really mattered, when he had the penalty kick, Joe Scanlon made no mistake whatsoever, putting home the penalty kick to give Ballingarry a 3-0 lead at that time. We now have Willie Enright moving forward for Knockaderry. Enright looking to see a way through for Knockaderry. He plays it outside here to the right. They're looking for a cross. Butler's inside. Butler has made his way inside. Can Butler get in the cross? Thomas Butler's attempted cross just skims off his boot, goes over the bar and wide. Certainly Thomas Butler, I believe he's 19 years of age. He certainly has had a great game for Knockaderry here. He certainly has had a very, very good game and has been involved from start to finish and covered an awful lot of ground for Knockaderry. I think we're going to have a substitution now. That's to replace the injured Michael Condon. We have, I'm just trying to see who the substitute for Ballingarry is, the player that has come on. I think it may be Philip Lane. I can't see at this distance. We'll get a chance to see it in a few minutes' time. I think it may be Philip Lane that has come on to replace Michael Condon for the final minutes. James Higgins, or John Cronin, clears the ball for Ballingarry, comes outside for Scanlon. Scanlon plays it forward for Kennedy. Kennedy, now it comes to Lane. Knocks it forward. Butler again involved in the play for Knockaderry, comes outside for Enright. Scanlon attempts to clear the ball upfield, but it goes out for a throw to Ballingarry just inside their own half. The clock is winding down. Everybody is expecting the referee Donie O'Gorman to blow the final whistle any moment now. Ballingarry 4, Knockaderry 2. The ball is knocked forward and it goes out for a throw to Knockaderry. Certainly the excitement in the Ballingarry bench is clear to be seen over there. The players are standing up, they're awaiting the final whistle. I think there will be a pitch invasion, and there it is. And Ballingarry have won the 2002 Desmond Cup Final. They've beaten Knockaderry, their close neighbours and friends, 4-2. It all began when Pat Kenrick came out of goal to take a long-range free kick. He struck it to the back of the net brilliantly. He was followed up by Donald O'Grady, who made no mistake when he got an opportunity to strike on goal when he turned. The third goal came from Joe Scanlon from the penalty spot when Niall Condon was up in the penalty area. And the final scorer for Ballingarry was club chairman and substitute John Cronin, who chipped Dowling and gave him no chance when he got an opportunity late in the second half. For Knockaderry, goals from Geary and Sullivan proved to be only consolation goals, but nonetheless they tried to the very last, and Knockaderry can be proud of their efforts here tonight. They will be disappointed. It is their third final losing, but nonetheless they put up a great effort right through to the very last. As we are here celebrating, and I see so many Ballingarry supporters in the middle of the field now celebrating this great occasion. There are some people who are unable to be with us for this great occasion. In fact, one man in particular and his wife were unable to be with us for a very particular occasion. That was their wedding anniversary. Former club chairman Benji Kelly and committee member back through the years, a great servant of the club, was unable to attend tonight because it was their wedding anniversary, and his brother Fenton sends himself and Trish best wishes on that occasion. Ballingarry are outsider. Their fans are absolutely ecstatic because never before have the supporters of Ballingarry AFC had an opportunity to celebrate an occasion like this. The Blue Ribbon Trophy of the Desmond League is winging its way from Askeaton to Ballingarry tonight. The 25th of May will go down in the annals of Ballingarry Soccer Club as a historic night. And the men who took part in it, helped and prepared everything, will be remembered fondly by everybody. It's a great night for club captain Owen Barrett and for all the players, and in particular for the club officials like years of service down through the years. They certainly will be thrilled with tonight's victory. The Desmond League officials now are asking the two teams to come over here in front of the dressing room complex for the presentations. Tonight, Owen Barrett, on behalf of Ballingarry AFC, will be presented with the Desmond Cup. It's a tough and difficult situation for Knockaderry. We all feel for them in this situation. It's 3 defeats, but nonetheless, we must compliment them and congratulate them on such an evenly contested final, on the effort they put in. And what can we say but hard luck Knockaderry. Looking at the faces coming in off the field, it's easy to see the Ballingarry people here tonight. Smiles, smiles, smiles. Absolutely thrilled. What a way to win a final. 4 goals to do. What a second half. Remember, 0-0 at half time, no score. And to finish the game at 4-2, it certainly was a dramatic second half. As we prepare now for the presentation of the trophy to the Ballingarry captain Owen Barrett, we just look around at the fine attendance here as they gather to hear the presentation speeches.
You're all messed.
I don't want you to do it. I want you No, that's not how we do things.
Can I bring you back now a second, please?
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Carling Limerick Desmond League, I would like to take this opportunity to compliment both sides on giving us a very, very entertaining Desmond Cup Final this evening. There was no shortage of goals, no shortage of goal incident, certainly no shortage of skill and commitment and sportsmanship. And I'd like to compliment both sides on a very, very, very good and able performance. I would, at this stage, like to offer our commiserations to Knockaderry. I know that in their own mind they know that they had played better. This is their 3rd final, I believe, in 5 years. It's also their 3rd loss, unfortunately. I know that, like I said, that they feel that they can play better, and I know they certainly can. But I think on the night, I think they hit against the Ballingarry side. They were certainly at their brilliant best. So again, commiserations to Knockaderry, and every congratulation to Ballingarry, who are bringing, I think, the season to a very successful conclusion. They've had a marvellous year. They've had a great year in the youths. They won the Youth Cup, the Youth League. They also got to the semi-final of the Munster Youth Cup. A great achievement, I think, for Ballingarry. And they've also been beaten in the final of the First Division League Cup. They are still in contention for promotion to the Premier Division. And tonight they have won the Carling Desmond Cup with a very, very complete and excellent performance. I think well done to Ballingarry. By the way, I'd also like to take this opportunity to compliment them on their design of prizes. I know that James Clancy was the man I said.
We set the standards, mate.
So I'd like at this time to also compliment our referee Donie and his assistants for making this game, helping to make this game such a very enjoyable one. Well done, lads. Also to Tom Fitzgerald, who you'll all agree, in spite of the very, very bad weather, had the pitch in excellent condition tonight. So very well done, Tom. So now I'd like to present the medals. First of all, we'll present the medals to the losers to Knockaderry. So if we could have the Ballingarry or the Knockaderry players, please, would you call out those names?
Daly. Donie Sullivan. Brian Downs, Sam Butler, Tommy Geary, Michael Connor, Donald O'Sullivan, Coleman Duffy, William Wright, Hal Hunt, Jim Corbett, Robert Grimes.
Also to the captain. Very well done. Well done, lads. Now we also have a memento for our referee and his 3 assistants. So Donie Garman, please. Tony Fitzmaurice, Liam O'Connor, and Colin Dawson, sport official. Now, we have also a very important presentation to make. It's our hurling man of the match tonight. This lovely trophy has been given to us, presented to us again by Tom Hogan, the man that supplies our trophies. And the man of the match picked for us this evening by our PRO Frank Nelligan is Donald O'Grady from Ballingarry.
Bring him behind the table now.
Go that way.
Well done, Donald.
I'd like to thank PJ Barrett.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, if we could have the captain, please, Owen Barrett.
First of all, I'll call out the players from middles. Patrick Henry can go. Colin Kiley. Mike Hansen. One of the old fellas, James Higgins. Niall Condren. Joe Scanlon. Noel McNamara. Owen Kindy. Donald O'Grady.
Thank you very much. My hands are full.
Darren O'Grady. Mike Corrigan. Another one for the John Clowney. Bill Blaine. Aidan Barrett.
Blue bottle.
Bert Hanley. And Darren Clifford. Just a few words. My complimented our shirt and tie. We'd like to thank all the sponsors. They gave us a few pounds in the last week or two. I'd also like to commiserate with Knockaderry. It must be very hard losing their third Desmond Cup Final. So we give Knockaderry 3 cheers. Hip hip! Hip hip! Hip hip!
Champion!
Okay, right, ladies and gentlemen, speech is over. It's now my great pleasure to present the Carling Desmond Cup to Owen Barrett, captain of Ballingarry, and well done.
Okay, as we experience the excitement of Ballingarry winning the first Desmond Cup ever, Owen now having just been presented the trophy by Mike Hanley, chairman of the Desmond League. You can see the passionate excitement all around us. There's no doubt. But these players really do appreciate the history that they've made here tonight. The members of the club and the supporters realise the excitement, the history that has been made. The team take the cup out onto the pitch. A team effort, substitutes included. It started all the way back when they played Glen. It's been a great run for Ballingarry, a great finish to the league, and as club president Mass Dooley passes me here, a great night for Ballingarry. Right here they're calling for Darren Clifford injured in the Desmond League Cup Final. They're calling for the triumphant manager Timmy O'Halloran to join them in this moment of intense excitement, this moment of victory. Very few players get the chance to experience something like tonight, winning a major trophy, winning it in such dramatic fashion, 4 goals to 2, a comprehensive win for Ballingarry, as they hop and dance here in front of us with manager Timmy O'Halloran and injured player Darren Clifford. What a great night for these players. They've put in the work during the season. They've had the disappointment of the last final last week, but they've come back here tonight to take the trophy home to Ballingarry. A great night indeed for Ballingarry, and here we have a shot of Phil Lane and John Cronin, next door neighbours in Lissadara. And we're just going to have a word with the 2 lads here now. Good night. John, Phil, congratulations. It's great to see 2 Ballingarry men holding the most prestigious cup that's available in the Desmond League. John, as chairman, to be part of it was a great night. To score must have been brilliant.
Unbelievable, Eddie. I mean, you sort of dream about things like this, like, do you know what I mean? Desmond Cup, U Cup in the same year. Myself personally, I mean, I get great enjoyment out of this club, but to come on and score a goal, I can't put in words.
Phil, you must have been delighted to take part, if it was in the latter stages, to be part of this moment in history for the club.
Oh, it's a great moment for me. Words can't explain it now very much. It's great to be a part of a great club, sir, and get my first medal, sir.
Well, lads, congratulations, well done, and enjoy the night.
Thanks, Eddie. And I must say, excellent job by yourself and George as well.
Thanks, John. Always celebrating the great night, and joined here by President Mass Dooley and Jimmy Clancy. Jimmy is dead to James and John, who've given their heart and soul to the club, And I know that Jimmy knows what it means to the two lads to bring this major trophy back to Ballingarry and all the work that has been put in. A great night, Jimmy.
A great night, and we're delighted for the win the Desmond League, and hopefully there'll be many more to come in the near future.
Well, certainly in a week's time we're hoping to repeat these scenes, Jimmy, and it would be great if on our visit to Killarney we could do something similar. Moss, an interesting game, exciting second half and some great goals.
Great goals, great talent on view, best talent I've seen in a long, long time, and it was a marvellous night for the club, and hopefully next Friday night we'll do the business and do the double.
Yes indeed, and I think that looking back through the game, Donald Grady was given the man of the match award, but in my eyes goalkeeper Pat Kinrick was not far behind him for that trophy here tonight. He gave a great contribution.
He had a great game, and his goal was actually the start of the Ballingarry's getting back into the game, and what worried me coming near the end was the 2 goals going in for Knockaderry. If there was another few minutes, you'd never know what happened. So
that's the game of football. It can be cruel and you can never be too careful, and certainly those goals were a worry, but on the night I think Ballingarry were not going to let it slip tonight. Lads, thanks very much.
No problem.
I'm joined here by Chairman of the Desmond League, Mike Hanley. Mike, from a Ballingarry perspective, it is a breakthrough night for the club. How did you view the game tonight?
Well, in fairness, I think Ballingarry have been threatened something like this all season. I think that they're excellent football tonight. From an early stage, I think you could see that they were going to score at least 1 goal.
Once the goalkeeper came forward and took that free kick, it was the breakthrough. Ballingarry got confidence from it.
They did, and I tell you, it was a goal. It was a goal. I think they should win any cup final. It was a brilliant free kick from the keeper. Yeah, very good.
In fact, all the goals tonight, including the 2 from Knockaderry, were all well worked, and they were all worthy of a Desmond Cup final.
Definitely. I must say we were delighted with both sides. We were delighted with the way the level of sportsmanship, the level of commitment, and the level of skill on both sides. I must say that the Limerick Desmond League are delighted.
Well, Mike, thanks very much. It's a great night for Ballingarry, and we appreciate the efforts of the Desmond League in putting on these competitions so that we have the opportunity to win them.
That's right, and look, enjoy yourself tonight. I know it is the Ballingarry's first one. I wish them the best of luck also on their promotion race to play in the Premier League next season. I think they deserve to be there. They're a very good side.
Thank you very much, Mike. Thank you. I'm now joined on this historic night by 2 officers from Ballingarry AFC. I have Club Treasurer John Clancy and his brother James, who's Secretary. Lads, it goes without saying, a great night for the club, James.
Yeah, it is without a doubt. You know, we've waited a long time for something like this to happen. You know, and like I was saying, the other night, 1989 was the last one, something. And it's a fantastic night for us. Like, yeah, it's unbelievable, really, that we could win the Desmond Cup, the Premier competition.
And I think, John, turning to you, that the fact that it was won in such a manner, it wasn't a narrow win, it was won with good goals, it was won by a scoreline of 4-2. That second half would be worthy second half of any match for any competition. It was a great second half.
I thought it was a tremendous performance overall. I think the scoreline of 4-2 doesn't flatter us in any way. It could be a lot more. But credit to the lads, they're fantastic tonight.
I think that the work that has gone on during the year, lads, when it works for you on a night like tonight, you see the product of it. We were here a week ago and we just didn't get the lucky break to get the game going like it did tonight. And the turning point was that great free kick from Pat Kinrick. It instilled the confidence in the rest of the lads to go forward and take the game by the scruff of the neck, James.
Yeah, Patrick has some belt of a ball. It's not the first time he scored a goal. Last year in the under-16 cup final he done the same. It's hard to believe that he was an under-16 last year. But I'd like to pay tribute to Timmy O'Halloran. I think he's come into the club 3 years ago and he has transformed the way we play and the way we think about the game of the 3 seasons. And he deserves an awful lot of credit for tonight's victory, we'll say, and whatever. And I just hope that this can trigger a chain reaction within the club. And I am confident that he will.
Lads, we'll enjoy tonight and we'll look forward to next week. Well done to yourselves for the backroom work that has to be done to turn out the team in the manner they were turned out tonight. And we'll enjoy tonight and come on, Killarney. Thanks, lads.
Thanks,
I'm now joined by team manager Timmy O'Halloran and Noel McNamara of central midfield. Noel, turning to you first. Your first year at the club, you've been with our neighbours where you've been used to this sort of success maybe. Certainly tonight must be sweet for you.
Yeah, people were kind of turning heads when I moved up to Ballingarry. They were saying, what a move, like, but I made the right decision. I made the right decision because I've been playing them for the last couple of years and I knew there was talent in that team and was shown tonight.
Yes, indeed. Certainly the fruits of the season's labours have come through. For you, Timmy, it must be very satisfying. It's the end of a 3-year cycle of work to get us to here. You must be very satisfied tonight.
I'm very pleased, but the job isn't done yet. We've next Friday night to look forward to. This is only a cup. It's the league which is the most important. And
You certainly see the league having slogged through it for the season.
yeah,
That's
the league,
D1.
The league is the most important one. That's what the club can make progress.
Yes.
You could, any team. All right, we did very well to win tonight, but it's the league which is the most important club.
And next Friday night we'll have the opportunity to go out there, play Killaney. If the night goes well for us, we will be going to the Premier Division next season. And I'm sure as manager you would relish the challenge of taking these lads, a dedicated bunch of lads, into that division.
Yeah, of course we have to just take it one game at a time. We won't look beyond down next Friday night.
Yes.
It'll be different games to what we had tonight, so we'll just have to see what happens after next Friday night. Then we'll plan again.
Tim and Noel, congratulations on tonight and the best of luck next Friday night. Thank you very much. Okay, as we hear the celebratory car horns blowing in the background, I'm sure these lads are anxious to join the celebrations, but I'm now joined by goal scorer Joe Scanlon, Owen Barrett captain, and Donald O'Grady goal scorer in tonight's game. Beginning with Joe. Joe, penalties certainly aren't a problem to you. You've done it for us on numerous occasions. How did you feel taking the spot tonight, having taken 2 last week?
I feel very confident. I'm fairly handy at him anyway. I've taken a lot of them before, so I was fairly confident. Their keeper wasn't the best, to be quite honest, on the night, but I was fairly confident.
Good to hear you may be needed again in that regard, Joe. Often famous last word. We'll hope for the best. Moving to Donald. Donald, the first half, you just couldn't get around that the centre has. You never got a clear run on goal. What was the difference in your eyes? In the second half, you seemed to be able to get the measure of the Knockaderry defence and get them turned.
The first half, we put Owen was kind of hanging on midfield more, hanging just about in front of the midfield. But in the second half, he kind of pushed up a bit and put a bit more pressure on them. And in fairness to them, they brought their left back, I think, in to cover as well in the first half, but they left him out in the second half and they gave us a bit more room. So thankfully we got the chances as well.
Certainly could have been 3 on another night. You had a couple of shots, but it just showed in the second half the chances were coming.
Oh Jesus, it was great to get the chances because it was kind of very it was very irritating in the first half, we'll say, because we couldn't
chances
really,
weren't coming.
It was very
and finally moving over to the captain on, obviously you're delighted to lift the cup on. You've had an eventful game. We won't mention all the events, but I'm sure that you're delighted that the lads performed to their ability tonight, because it's very disappointing when the team comes to a game and you don't perform to your ability. Tonight you did.
Last week we felt we let ourselves down, so we came down here with a kind of a point of proof last week, and thank God we made up for it.
Lads, thanks for joining me. I know you want to join the rest of the team in celebrating. Best of luck Friday night, and hopefully we'll have another cup to celebrate. Thanks very much. On this historic occasion for Ballingarry, the lads are absolutely delighted, the club is delighted, and the people of the parish will be delighted with the success we've had here tonight. The Desmond Cup is on its way to Ballingarry. On my own behalf, I'd like to thank our cameraman George Daly for all his help in putting together this video. To thank all the contributors. Signing off from Clounreask, Askeaton on the 25th of May 2002, Ballingarry Desmond Cup holders. My many thanks to everyone who helped. All the best. Bye.
Dolphins can swim. Though nothing will keep us together. We can beat them forever and ever. Or we can be heroes just for one.